Welcome back to I'm Chewing an Apple on
It's a great show.
on this Thursday
my
show.
favorite.
Fantastic.
gonna go
Welcome
viral.
back, everybody. Nice to have you all back here, and the McCougs is back, and
Is somebody like keeping the air conditioning on 24/7? Because
No.
it finally feels like somewhat
Like we're
cool
not
in
dying?
here.
I think
Yes.
we asked, and I think
Yeah.
that it's just I don't think it was done. I don't think
Thad
anything.
gave us that handy dandy guide on how to just turn it on.
I
So
don't
are you
think-
coming in here and
Handy
turning it
dandy?
on?
It's been on. We just kept it on.
I don't think
Yeah.
anything.
I love how
was-
you talk like Ned Flanders sometimes.
locally, neighbor.
Did you see? Speaking of which, did you get a chance to see Conjure Club's video with the Collider Live song?
No.
Oh, we can't play it
It's
because
really
it's
fun.
already got the
That's
footage,
Simpsons
but
footage.
we'll show you.
I just heard about the collateral. Yeah, I heard
Although-
about
He
that.
called in again yesterday. His name is
Yesterday,
Cheyenne,
amazing.
or her name is Cheyenne. I can't tell if it's a guy or a girl.
I think it's a guy.
I think it's a dude making an
A
accent.
voice.
I think it's a Hank Azaria or something.
Yeah.
But anyway,
If it's Hank Azaria.
Yeah, right.
hope.
Josh McCouga is back. Mark
Hey, buddy.
Riley is back. Christian Rubicaba joining us in the booth today. No, hey,
What's up,
Alex. So, what's up, dog? So, guess what, guys? I know the comments. I can see them. No more time codes today either, so deal with it.
Sorry.
They know when Alex
I'm
is here.
leaving.
No time
You know
codes,
what
you know.
my favorite?
And Doreena's here. Hello, Queen
hey,
of
Yeah,
Death.
yeah. I was waiting for you to
I
introduce
was,
me,
but
but
then,
whatever.
you know, Queen of Death is here.
Yeah, I
That's what
haven't
I'm saying.
seen you in like 2 weeks, but whatever.
Has it been 2
I
weeks?
don't know. It's probably
It's been
not
so
long
long.
enough.
Not long enough. It's true. Wow. What were you going to say,
Burn.
Biscuits?
No, you were talking about like comments in the show and everything. And yesterday, like most of the comments on the YouTube video, on Twitter and Instagram about like my trailer reaction for Bad Boys for Life was like, "Oh, I love his energy. This is the best. Can't wait." And then like the other 10% was, "It's a fucking Porsche, dude. It's not a Ferrari." I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry." The front.
I meant to tweet at you. Yeah.
Josh,
front-
you ignorant
The,
slut.
the beginning. Okay, so if you know the Bad Boys franchise, which I botched in one of them,
Yeah.
in the first one he drives a Porsche, in the second one he drives a Ferrari.
Oh, yeah.
okay?
He said he's bringing back the Porsche. That's what
And
he
he's-
said, right?
Yeah.
right.
And so from
Or Ferrari, whatever.
from the beginning light thing, it looks like a Ferrari light because it's got like the
Right.
dip
Right.
thing. And then I see the Porsche logo, but I didn't want to correct myself. I was just too excited for the friggin' trailer.
Talk about just crushing joy and happiness. Like if you
Right?
Because I did. I
You
went
said
back,
the car brand wrong.
I know because I went back and I went
How
back and I
dare
watched.
you, Josh? How fucking dare
I
you?
went back and I washed. I washed a car with my own hand. I certainly didn't wash my own. I dump stopped that thing. 'Cause I watched his reaction and I was like, you know, even though I'm not like super pumped with this movie, I want to see it because I want to see it with him. He's so
Right.
excited,
Yeah.
and he's so excited. He's like, oh, they're bringing back the Porsche. 'Cause he said, or the Ferrari. He gets so excited.
Does
And
he
then someone
sound
goes,
like Pennywise?
I do.
You're not a real fan. You don't know the car. Stick your head in a pile of horse shit. I-
But what is
Please.
that though that people have?
horse
to,
shit. It comes out of a horse's
Oh, is
asshole.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Right out of
that.
his
That's like
asshole.
another idiom I didn't know.
Yeah, horse shit. I'll tell you something great I saw, and I called Riley and told him about this immediately. I don't know if I've ever seen.
No, it
anything.
happened in the middle
While I
of
was
our
at
call.
work.
It
I
was
don't
so
know if I've
funny.
ever seen anything this great. So I'm on the highway talking to Riley, and as I'm getting on the highway, I see this homeless guy, and he has a sign that says "food."
Just food.
And then I see a guy hand him something, and I see this thing fly, and he goes, "Fuck this," and throws it. It's a banana. So the guy gave him food. And he said, "Fuck your
I
food."
don't want banana.
He's like, "By food, I meant money." Just like,
Or McNuggets.
but I just see this thing fly in the air. I was like, "What?" Because in my head, I see this the way
He should have given him a McGriddle.
whatever it was, the process of events. What I saw first, I saw it go flying in the air first. And I go, "What was that?" And I look and I see a banana on the road, and I go, "Oh, food." And then I look and I see the sign that says "food," and I see his look on his face like, "Not that food, fucko."
Yeah.
And it was great.
We were talking. And it was like, yeah. So we'll do this. What the fuck was that? Wait, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
I said, "I've just seen the greatest
I've
thing
just
ever."
seen the greatest thing in my life.
I
This
love
guy
that.
just threw a banana.
But it was not that he just threw the banana. It was the fact that he had a huge sign that said,
That said food, yeah.
And he's just like, "But not that food."
But fuck
by
your
food,
banana.
By food, I meant first class trip to Disney World.
Well,
You know?
here's-
Speaking of food, when are you gonna make me tacos? Because
Oh, you like
he
that?
texted me yesterday, and he just texted me a photo of these tacos, and I'm like, "What? Why are you sending me porn?"
Porn.
Yeah.
I wrote with her. I said, "Just to let you know, I'm not flirting with you." And I sent these pictures, and she's like, "Where is that from?" And I said, "My house." My wife.
They
makes,
look good.
My wife makes amazing tacos, and I made and it's leftovers. So check this out. I was
tacos.
Yeah, I
They
was
look
impressed.
really good. The point is that you need to have your wife cook some
I
for
always
us.
make quesadillas.
Me too. I made some
wow.
yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah,
What do you
really
make
good.
them with? What cheese?
We got the cotija.
Cotija?
Yeah.
Cotija?
Cotija. And then like
Cotija.
the Mexican blend, and I put them all together. And then sometimes I sprinkle a little Parmesan in there, just add a little spice, a little flavor, maybe some pepper jack, whatever's in the fridge. I'm a all cheese kind of guy. I'm the anti-Roxy, whatever cheese. But I make
I'm with you, dude.
I tell you what I've perfected over the last like 6 or 7 months is a breakfast quesadilla. I have destroyed
Like
the
with
breakfast
eggs or with
Little bakes.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Go.
I'm going to ask you this.
Okay.
Should I reveal where Roxy is going today, or should I wait until Monday to see what happens?
I mean,
Are you spoiling something for people?
here's what I think.
Yeah.
Is I think you just let it in a really nice tease.
Yeah.
But
Leave it.
but I think like the anticipation for Monday.
Let it roll. Let it roll until Monday.
Let it
No,
roll.
I think you tell them where they are, because so people are
Well,
like,
the only thing I'm worried about is too is that what if it hurts?
oh,
You know what
okay,
I mean?
all right, then keep
I'm
it.
going to wait till Monday.
Okay,
I think people
tease
can
it.
probably try to guess.
Tease it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people,
People will
get
guess.
it. Yeah.
People will guess.
Yeah.
But so we'll reveal on Monday because I
So
want
what
to
are you
hear.
guys talking
She's
about?
at a wheel of
I'm
cheese.
kidding.
She's at Ralph's eating cheese.
She's in the world's largest wheel of
she's
cheese.
at
Biggest
Ralph's
nightmare?
eating cheese. She's eating cheese. She
cheese.
just said please.
Yes, cheese.
Because she likes to eat some
Yummy
cheese.
cheese.
Now she can shit.
I'm telling
Some
you,
horse
I think
shit.
she should eat cheese to help her with her
With the
bowel
poops.
movements. Yes.
Speaking of
no,
poops,
that doesn't. That
Yeah. It
does
helps
the
me.
opposite for me.
this is what
Yeah,
I.
that
This,
clogs you up.
Yeah,
Not me.
No, this is
Cheese
the,
doesn't
lights
let
me
your
up.
poop come out unless it comes out weird, like
this
a
is the-
horse shit.
Yeah, this is the joy that I get. So I had my 2-year-old yesterday, changing her, right? And so the thing I always do in order, when you put her on the table, she doesn't want to be there. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's tough.
Screaming and yelling, all that stuff. So I have the window, and I go, oh look, a bird, look at a squirrel, right? So she wouldn't hear any of it. I go, oh look, a poo-poo squirrel, right? And she looks at me, she goes, I don't see a poo-poo squirrel.
He's like, you idiot.
And I start cracking up, and I said, did you say I don't see a poo-poo squirrel? She goes, I don't see a poo-poo squirrel. It's like-
Those don't exist.
but she can be, but she got the full sentence out of I don't see a poo-poo squirrel. It was really funny.
You dummy.
The other comment on the Instagram post from Collider, I'm going to read it to you because it was my favorite.
Oh, boy.
Is the Collider posted the trailer reaction, from Bad Boys for Life on the
Where
channel.
we're showing such joy.
Such joy.
Such
And
unbridled
here, this
Then you
is
fucked
joy.
up the car brand.
I said, here we go. So from, I'm going to tell this guy's name out on the thing because I think it's funny.
All right.
He said, this is at Tony Gaines with 2 Z's. At Christian Harloff, get your own show, man. You're the only person that kept it going. Watered down crew, ruined Collider, keep it sweaty, peace. And somebody wrote back, like, the new crew is great. And I wrote back, thanks for the kind words, dude. Keep the positivity alive. That's what matters most, supporting people and spreading positivity. And I see other people going like, yeah, what Makuga said. Tony Gaines, not a fan.
Not
Not a fan.
Well, she really likes me.
He likes you.
Okay,
exactly.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then I like him.
Good for you. We're so happy
Good
for
for me,
you.
good for me.
Yeah.
You
Hey
love me
guys,
too,
you know
loved it.
what?
What's up?
It's officially Halloween time.
Is it?
It's 2 months away. Yes, it starts on September 1st, Halloween
It does?
season. We're going to Horror Nights
I
in
think it starts
September.
October 1st.
So updates on that.
Yeah.
Updates
Yeah.
on Halloween
The
Horror.
updates.
So here are the
either
updates.
of the dates we were talking about, they're
Those are
working
good.
on those.
Okay,
yes.
good. So here's what and what I asked you was cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we I was in New York and I got a big group text from Dorina who's working on it. Dorina always comes through when it comes to this
does.
shit. So
Well, it comes when you say this shit, you mean the scary shit.
the scary stuff.
Yeah.
So and then another person who comes through is Katie, and so we have to figure out. And she's very busy, so we needed to figure out that the dates work. Both the dates work for her.
Yes.
So either one of those dates we're going to make happen. We just have to,
Finalize
finalize
details.
it, and then we're going to be doing that. What we do have to get is who's going to do the camera stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
talking to
figure-
Riley about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we got
okay.
somebody.
I
we
got
we
it.
can
Figuring
pull
it out.
something.
I got it all.
So
It's all good.
I'm excited for that. I know you're very excited for that. Not really.
I'm over the moon for
Yeah.
this.
Does it help? Does it help that Katie's going to be there?
No, what?
I don't
No.
know. You guys get along.
I like Katie a lot. It
Have
doesn't-
you been to
I'm on an
Universal Studios?
island of terror.
Yeah.
Okay? My
your head even
brain and
before you
my
go.
thing.
Have you been to Horror Nights before?
Are you
Have you
fucking
been?
kidding me?
No?
No.
You want to see some real vampires?
I went to a haunted house once in the 6th grade.
that
It
was
was the
it?
worst night of my life.
Oh, I can't wait for this. So this is transfer.
gonna have fun.
Of my life.
You're becoming
You're gonna have
legendary,
fun.
by the way, because I was on Frosty, Heidi, and Frank this morning, and we started talking. And they were asking me about Bad Boys, and I brought you up, and I talked about how much you love it and everything too. And Heidi goes, "Wait a minute, is that the guy who's scared of everything?" I said, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's what your tombstone's going to say, Josh.
yes,
Josh, he was
McCouga.
scared of
He was
everything.
scared of
Husband,
everything.
Scared to death.
lover, scared of everything.
Except Bad Boys.
Except
Except
Bad
Bad
Boys.
Boys too. What if they made Bad Boys for horror film.
Oh
Would you
my
see
God!
it?
I would drive to Michael Bay's house
And beat
be
his
like,
ass.
"Are you responsible for this?" And then I would go to Will Smith's house and be like, "Are you responsible for this?" And I go to Martin Lawrence's house. Are you responsible for this? And every time I would go, I would bring the people that this movie matters to most. Which I got a lot of texts from people yesterday, like, "What'd you think? Who'd you think?"
Yeah,
Whatever.
sure.
I text my brother, who's like, "How many times is too many to watch?" I was like, "There are too many times. It's
Yeah.
so good." Yesterday I was watching. I was giggling, and Mark Riley leans over. He's like, I was just.
But
watching the
I'm
trailer.
so happy
Yeah.
for
Yeah, me
you
too.
because that
Me
happened to
too.
me when I saw the Joker trailer for the
Right.
first time.
See,
I
there
was
you go.
super excited.
When
So
I-
and It Chapter 2. So
Yes.
so good for you, Josh.
When I
Even though you got the names wrong of the cars.
of the cars.
Yeah.
When I saw I watched the
Non-fan.
trailer again, and watching it with your eyes, I enjoyed it more than I did the first
Yeah.
time. But I am excited for you.
Yes, thank you.
I want it to make money because that's
Yeah.
it's. I hope that
important.
it's good. I hope it's good.
They're making a bunch of
It's just Star
reboots.
Wars.
Why not that one?
Why
yeah,
not?
exactly.
Like I'm going. Well, I would obviously probably go to like a press screening with you
Yeah.
if they have an LA premiere. Obviously, I'd
Oh, I'm
want
not
to go to
taking
that.
you.
Oh, cool. Don't worry. I'll reach out to every human I know in the
Yeah,
press.
right,
I'll
it's
reach out to Becca M4. Like, do you have a plus
Yeah,
one?
I won't scream during
I-
this
I
one. I
promise.
promise. And
But
I
you
do it
would
with
if you
tears of
do
joy.
though. You
I'll
would.
stand
You'll
up
be
and scream like, yeah.
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 No, we got to try to get you the premiere.
Yeah.
We got to try to get you the premiere. I'm gonna reach out to Patrick again and see what if I could do it.
Yeah.
I got to try to get you.
I'm gonna go with Amanda. Obviously, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with my brother. Obviously,
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
that's 3 times in the theater at least.
All right, we'll see what we can do. Look, we have a couple giveaways. Actually, one giveaway today. It's the Men in Black International Blu-ray and Mondo poster, Riley. Right?
yeah.
So how are we going to give that away today?
Yeah, we're gonna open up the phone lines 11:30 hour, and Josh McCook is gonna quiz.
I've got some questions.
Mondo
after yesterday.
pasta poster.
questions.
I have a question.
Two DVDs.
No, just one.
Just
we
one.
got one grand prize pack, so one lucky. We're
They
gonna
changed the name of the movie though, as JT was.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's MIB intentional.
Men in
What's the
Black
Mondo
intentional.
poster? It's a Men in Black poster. It's
Yeah,
probably
it's gonna
super
be
cool
a-
because Mondo posters are incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We don't have the art is going to be released on September 14th, so we don't have that image yet, but you will get that, and it is Mondo, like Dorina said. It's going to be pretty awesome.
All right, Tarina. I don't think that Contra Club did do the Simpsons thing. He hasn't done whatever Aladdin. Maybe he didn't do Aladdin yet.
Collider.
I had it in my head all
Me
last
too.
night.
I had
The
it
best
this morning.
show on the U.
On the U.
And then what was he doing yesterday? Doobie 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 doobie.
That was
me and you.
watching from the booth and seeing your guys' reaction
Yeah.
was
Who
probably
is
the
this
best.
person?
I don't know.
name is Cheyenne.
I
Great.
think it's a fake voice, but I don't care.
Yeah,
As long as
that's
he
great.
doesn't say anything that's like offensive,
Yeah.
then I don't care. I think it's fine.
Yes.
So we're gonna set up a scenario here. I think they did Back to the Future. They did that. But you know what I was doing? You know what people really liked? They liked my Sebastian Maniscalco impression.
Really?
Yeah, because I was doing the one from when I was talking about the VMAs.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, who is that? Pamela Anderson? I thought she was dead.
It's pretty damn good.
I still like
Yeah,
your
it's good.
Arnold better.
Do you know Sebastian?
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't.
That's right.
Commando was on last night when I was getting
Was
into
it?
bed, and Amanda was
Oh.
falling asleep. And we're like, the worst part about marriage sometimes is that in between shows, when you just finished an amazing show, like we just finished Working Moms, and now we have an island of nothing.
Right.
I'm like
I
scrolling
have
through
so
Netflix,
much to watch.
Amazon. I've got nothing. She doesn't want to watch this. I don't want to watch that. Yada yada yada. So we're getting into bed. She's falling asleep, and Commando's on.
Yeah. Oh.
And so it's
She's
just-
never seen it.
Never seen it, right? And as soon as I turn it on, it's when the stewardess comes up and he's like, "Don't interrupt my friend, he's dead tired." Right? And Amanda's like, "What the fuck is this movie?" And I was like, "Babe, this is Commando. This is Schwarzenegger at his effing finest.
Yeah.
Like this
Peak
is
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I mean, he
85.
only has one-liners in this movie, like that,
Yeah.
because he couldn't speak English fully. He just had one-liners, and so Amanda, like
I eat
20,
Isn't that great? And he's still
Yeah.
so badass.
Yeah,
He
he's-
doesn't
I ate
matter.
green berets for breakfast.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I think she's sleeping, eyes wide open. She's like,
Loving it?
"What's gonna happen?"
Oh, so good.
when he drops Sully off the cliff, she's like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
She was psyched
It was-
about it.
I
Have we
said
already
it was
talked
good.
about
You
this?
last.
You got a good one.
What your favorite Arnold movie is?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Commando's up there though. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that because
Totally.
it is a classic.
What about you, Christian Rubalcaba?
Arnold? Probably Terminator.
First one?
The first one.
First one, I think, is
Yeah.
still mine.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling you,
pretty
it's
good.
just like, hey,
It's a
buddy,
horror movie.
What are you skinning a dead
Yeah.
cat in there? Fuck you, asshole.
So it's not Jingle All the Way?
Jingle all the way.
Right there, that was the
Good GMP.
The clip he just played was from Commando when he goes, "I eat green for breakfast, and right now I'm very hungry." It's so good. But I wanted to do a buddy cop movie with.
No?
Green berets for breakfast. Right now, I'm very hungry.
so a buddy cop movie with Schwarzenegger and Sebastian.
Oh, that'd be really good.
It'd be really good.
Yeah.
Arnold, where are you going? There's a guy on the plane, shoes off. Get him out.
They should do
My
that.
friend doesn't like you. He's from Chicago. He gets very upset when you have the shoes off. So I'm going to have to kill you now. My friend just said he's going to kill you. Get out.
This is just a character study on a plane. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's true.
We need a buddy cop, a grumpy old man. That'd be great.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Arnold.
good. And-
That'd be good.
yeah.
And
And
like
Stallone.
Stallone.
And Sly.
Yeah.
And Stallone.
Why not?
Just, especially at
Maybe
their
the
age now,
grumpy
it'd be amazing.
grumpy old man meets the Expendables remake.
Yes, and they're at like Del Boca Vista Phase 4,
Right.
and they're like a terrorist organization has taken over the retirement home
Right.
to kidnap a former president that's living there that has nuclear codes that are still buried somewhere in Florida, and then Schwarzenegger and Stallone have to save the day.
Right.
And but they're old.
Yeah, go ahead. Get in the car.
Takes a shuffleboard stick and
Yeah.
just breaks
Yeah.
over a guy's
I'm
face.
I gotta take my medicine.
I'm tanning. What are we doing here? We gotta go. My friend in trouble. Gotta get. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm busy right now, and just sit down here, and I don't want to go on any more adventures. I'm retired. I'm like, you can't be tired. No, retired, stupid. You got to get out of here. Anyway,
We are laughing.
laughing and crying and punching each other in the
Face.
That's
let's do that. Let's do a really stupid thing right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's make a dumb story.
Wait, you mean we weren't being stupid?
Even worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's make a really dumb story the way you do. You've got to fill it in. You got to fill in like
So the improv
a couple
game.
Like
the
Mad
improv
Libs?
game,
Oh, this
but
is
a couple
great.
but a couple of different words. All right.
Okay.
So there was a guy that I knew. He was a big old giant with a big pair of.
Balls,
Keep it going.
Okay.
And I'll point.
which he had to loan one of his balls to another.
Another giant because he was without the balls because previously Jack did climb the beanstalk
Right.
and cut one of them off, and it was
Oh.
pretty. It was pretty bad.
You got to leave.
You got to leave him with something.
Oh, it was pretty bad. So the giant then went over to the doctor to do the operation. The doctor was confused by all this.
Riley went full Roxy
doing
on it.
it.
You got to leave a bad lib.
You got to go. And the doctor's name was.
Okay, I was getting there.
Oh,
You
you
take
were?
that.
You were getting there.
So the doctor's name is Dr. Big Ball. And
No, you say his name is Doctor.
Doctor. Fuck y'all.
No, it was getting there. It was getting there. So then he went to sleep. He fell asleep. He was out. The end.
Yeah, this is why I never got into improv.
That was so bad. But good.
I'm waiting,
But
I'm
good.
waiting for my
That's why
Ken
it was
Knapsack
good.
test.
So-
I'm waiting for my Ken text.
Ken decided at that moment he's calling into the show. Oh my God.
Collateral
Live,
The
the
best
worst show
The
on
worst.
the YouTubes. Oh, so fucking amazing.
I love you,
This
Tommy.
show's gone down the shitter.
You're the only one that kept it alive.
I thought they were talking about John Wick.
Get your own show on.
You want to talk about The Bachelor?
I was
then,
gonna
guess?
say
No.
that was
No,
that was the whole
Riley.
thing. You turn someone
No.
and goes, "Oh my God!" And I thought I never want him to talk about The Bachelor again. Want to do another improv game? Zip, zip, zoop, boop, beep, chop, goop, leap, seep.
Every Thursday. I swear to God, every Thursday. You
Yeah.
got
Something
the
about
Heidi and
Tarina
Frank-
being here that
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
adds
it's you.
something.
I
It
went.
says I'm hexing you all.
They turned the air conditioner off, by the way. Did you
Yeah,
notice that?
totally. I'm
Feels
sweating.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
profusely.
everybody God was like, they need to shut the fuck up.
Massively. I went to one improv class one time. I took a
Yeah.
sketch class at UCB that I thought was pretty good. I went to one improv class one time. It was in New York, okay? And we start doing that zip, zap,
Right.
zop thing, and then it stops, and I just raised my hand. I was like, "What's that have to do with comedy?" That's what I said, and the teacher was like, "Well, you know, it's like it's more of a warm-up game." I was like, "To say zip, zap, zop," like I was
It's
just
reflexes,
questioning.
though.
I guess, but at the end of the
That's
day,
interesting.
I was just
I'm
like,
with those games.
I
I'm
was
with
just
those
waiting for
games.
the
"That was
get
$20
out.
I'll never
Right,
get back.
right.
I'm good."
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was in Acme for a long time, and that's actually where I got Brett. I got Brett in there, and then Brett was in there for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
Well,
worked
that's
well.
his jam.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I'm fucking
Yeah,
with
but
you.
he's dude. Well, that's the thing, Brett. One of those guys, man. It's just like you see him on stage, and you're just like, why don't you do this more?
Yeah.
All the time.
All the
He should do it
time.
all
It's
the
like you see, he was, and it was the same way for the improv classes. He was the funniest guy that came on stage. He did this one thing, and he's like, he's talking. It opens up on stage, and there's all these hardcore gangsters, right? And they got the. Have you seen this yet? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I didn't.
And so there's hardcore gangsters, and they're like sitting around, and it's like they're terrifying looking. And it's like, modern day gangsters. Brett comes dressed up as like a 1920s gangster. And he goes like, "All right, boys, gather around the campfire. Let's have a little newsy talk." Right? And he's like, "Get your knickers ready and let's get started." And he just kind of holds his thing. And the guy goes, "What'd you say?" He says, "I said knickers." All right? And he's like, "Don't get offended, man." And this whole thing. And he's got the old time. And you can picture Brett doing it. He's got the old tap, the high suspenders, and he's moving around and he's doing.
He's like
it's
Guys
so
and
good.
Dolls.
He said, but he goes, today we're going to be tough. We need a name that's going to work. I got it. The Saltwater Taffy Boys.
And how does he come up with all this crap?
just
Just
wrote it. Was it
immediately.
I helped him write a little of that one, but like
Was that the one? Because there was another sketch about knickers, right?
Yeah.
Where, and a person, and they got in all
Are
kinds of
knickers
trouble. But I
pants?
don't think it was Brett.
No, well, Brett,
So
when
weird.
They stole it from Brett.
maybe because Brett did that in 2000.
Yeah. Oh,
That
yeah.
was-
So
that
this
was-
was like
that was-
2009.
Yeah, Brett did that a long time ago,
Right,
and then I had this one sketch that I written for Greg Benson, who blew up on Mediocre. That was what's his name? His channel? What's it?
Doug Benson, you mean?
No. Greg Benson. He has Mediocre TV. I think that's his YouTube channel. He blew up. He was a big YouTuber, but. He was in my sketch, and I wrote this thing for him. It was like Daddy Knows Best, where he's just the most inappropriate father. And he said something. He's going. The one thing that he was talking about as I'm sitting down, I was played the straight kind of,
Right.
and I'm waiting for his daughter, and he starts telling me all these stories, and he's like, yeah, back in the day, my wife's not here to hear this, but I used to chubby chase and do all these things. He talked about this whole joke. He's like, I used to go. I would take that ride going off on overweight people, and I go. Sir, my sister's overweight. And he goes, well, that's very kind, but I don't do that anymore.
Jesus.
Like it was that kind of offensive stuff. But it was just that whole run at Acme was a lot of fun. But Brett was a star back then, and still, and he needs to do more of that stuff.
I hope he keeps doing it.
Well, I
Yeah,
put a tweet out. I put a tweet out today, and this is the tweet. And I'd like
He's
to see.
got a family. He lives in El Segundo.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still. I mean, there's travel. And I put this. This is the tweet that I put out today, and it's pinned to my profile. And I'd love for you guys
Are
to
we
vote
going to
on
read
this.
our tweets today in the show?
And
Is
if
that
you
what
want
we're
to,
doing?
yeah, but you're part of the B team. Remember what the comments said?
I voted for the least responsive one.
The least responsive one. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what we had. So I had a
podcast.
question for all you guys. What type of show would you be more inclined to come to if we came to your city? I'm going to start doing stand up more on these things. I've decided that. I talked to Ellis about it. And so it's like, is it going to be it would be a stand up show with myself and Ellis and definitely Mike McCouga and Ken with hosting, and then friends of the show coming in and do some stuff. A Schmodown, a live podcast, or all of it, bundled up. So the lead is all of it, with 42%. People said they would get the bundle package. Schmodown and the stand-up with myself and Ellis are tied at 23%, and live podcast at 12% with almost 1,400 votes. I'd like to get that up, that vote. So, we'll see, because I'm very curious, because we're going to go on tour. We met last night about our tour 2020. We're going to do a big thing, and we're going to do a whole bunch of new things, and I'd love for you guys to hear your opinion, because not everybody loves a Schmodown.
I voted live podcast, and the funny thing is, I voted live podcast before I saw the fourth option, and I was like, all of it. I was like, fuck.
I know.
Yeah.
No edit button on the polls
I'm gonna
either.
go vote right now.
Well, that's the thing. So, I mean, because I realize that there are a lot of Schmodown fans. We get that. But there are also people who maybe watch this show that have never watched a Schmodown once in their life, but they want to see us do comedy and things too. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that, probably like Fridays and Saturday nights, kind of combining it.
What's kind of crazy is that, like in New York or even in Seattle, wherever, I was like, "Are you guys Schmodown fans?" Like, I don't really watch, but I watch you guys on Collider Live. So there's like, there's
a mix.
fans of everything. There's a
There's
good
a
mix.
mix.
And I'm like, well, you should watch Schmodown. You should watch
I've
That's
been
why I put the
running
live
into a
podcast.
few Collider Live fans at concerts I've been going to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like I went to King Crimson at the Greek, and that was amazing. And there was a security guard there that was like, "Hey!" Like he was so
Really?
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
At the Bowl?
No, at the Greek, and then at the Bowl as well for John Williams.
I will say what's really funny is that at the end of the show on Saturday night, Finstock walks out there, right? second he walks out, you hear from the back of the crowd, "What goldfish here?" So good.
I went to the Hollywood Bowl one time for a Christian rock concert. It's a long
I did
story.
rock. I rocked that shit.
What?
You said,
You guys know.
My bad. Shit.
You guys know I was in a Christian band, right? In college.
Rubalcaba.
There you go.
You were?
I was. Yeah.
Sing us
I
a
was in a
little-
worship band.
Sing
I
us
know.
some Jesus.
I know everyone is shocked,
Go,
but yes.
go, go.
No.
Tell us-
Sing
no.
us some Jesus.
No. Forever my love. No. I'm
Oh,
not.
Jesus.
No. No. 666. Okay.
Skin is burning
Yeah.
now.
You're a heel. You did a full heel turn.
An angel just lost its wings.
And what do you have? Blonde hair and tan?
I know. I'm actually Taylor Swift.
Every time
Better than
Doreen
Prince.
is
By the way.
Yeah.
I was not on that show. You
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me with that stupid
Yeah.
video? I've never once in my life looked at a YouTube video and said, thank God it has more dislikes.
Yeah.
I saw you pieced out this thing that Taylor Swift, and by the way, you as a producer, shame on you for piecing that video out.
Thank you.
How many
Shame
hits
on
does
you.
it have?
You deserve one more hits in the nose for that. And, like to say that Taylor Swift, and she's a fine musician, that's fine. To say she's
She's
better than
fine.
Prince, you need someone to come and take that monitor
Thank
off and
you.
slam you
She'll
in
have
the
Yes.
so many more #1 hits by the time it's all over.
Here,
than Prince.
collectively,
God
Serena,
damn it,
do
Josh.
it.
Boo.
Go ahead. You can
Heel
boo
turn.
all you want.
Heel turn.
That's fine.
Unbelievable.
But anyways, you were saying, Josh, you went to the Hollywood Bowl.
Every time Dorina sings, an angel dies.
Yeah, loses its wings.
Angel
Yeah.
loses. So my buddy's cousin plays guitar in this band called Hillsong United.
my buddy's cousins, roommates, sisters, brothers,
Yeah,
nephews.
Which makes us what?
Lone
Absolutely nothing.
Star.
So we get tickets, and we had like boxes at the Hollywood Bowl, right? And so I walk into the Hollywood Bowl, and there is not a line for any of the beer tents at all.
Oh, good
Obviously,
Lord.
it's a Christian rock
yes,
concert.
yes.
So we walk up, and we're walking up, and the guy just goes, "Hey, schmoes!" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Not much beer being bought tonight." He's like, "Fuck no, man." It's great. It was one of my favorite concert memories ever.
It's
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
San
But it's
Diego
because
show.
somebody just randomly yells at you, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, what did I do?
My buddy was like, "Who's schmoes?" And I was like, "Ah, it's a show, man. It's great."
Yeah.
It's always fun when it happens out. I was just leaning down getting some wine at Ralph's, at Rock and Roll Ralph's. Some guy just walks by and goes, "Hey, Yodi." And just keeps walking. And I was like,
I
"Hey."
can't remember.
And you're like, God?
Yeah,
Is that
what the
you?
fuck?
It might have been you at Comic Con. And we were walking, and someone goes, "Hey,
yeah.
it's you." I just walked away.
Was it your mother-in-law?
No, my mother. No, I believe that there's something on the television tonight that I need to watch. What are you going to watch? The Affair, of course.
It's a good show.
I love that show.
You know what's my favorite though?
No,
Or
it's
it
the
just started?
final season. Episode 3 is coming on this week.
I have to say really quick though, the people I've been running into, there's a few people that have been like, hey, because of you guys, I just started film school. Like,
Yes,
they've
yeah, I
been
love that
saying
one.
a lot of cool, nice things. And but my favorite though has to be when randomly we were walking around. I think it was Seattle, and somebody, or I was actually maybe at Comic Con, and somebody yelled "Zubilee Zoo,"
Yeah.
and that was my favorite.
he does
Come
know.
on,
He's good.
Rubalcaba.
He's
He
good.
does.
He's good.
God damn it.
Don't play it.
It'll
Don't
happen
play
next
it.
week.
I don't get that reference.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a
Thank
Fine,
you.
I tried,
Cody
guys.
thing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
Cody's
Cody
fine.
will be.
It's going to come
Cody
on.
will be
I
back.
know it is.
I actually thought about that.
Is Cody back on Monday?
I think so, right?
No, he's never coming back.
Oh, he's done. Smart kid.
Yeah, get the fuck out while you can.
Yeah. Just take it at this
So,
point.
yeah, just take it on the chin.
Okay.
Yeah, just take it. You Taylor
Take
Swift
it.
loving shit ass.
Listen,
What a shirt that would be. I'm a Taylor Swift loving shit ass.
I'm wearing it to the
It's weird. It's up.
concert.
It's up now.
I'm wearing a. The next.
That's like when we found out. Oh, we have shirts.
What shirt should we do? Fuck you. We'll tell you what shirt you're gonna do.
Taylor loving shit ass.
Nathan's making us some Galaxy Cake shirts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, but it's over at that point. It's like at this point, yeah, it's like
What's
the same thing.
Galaxy? Oh,
yeah,
right,
Galaxy.
right.
Gate.
Yeah,
Yes, I
Doreen's
get
the comedian that goes up there and goes, so how about airplane food?
Am I a comedian? I didn't
It's
know.
like, and men and women, they sure are different.
She walks into like an old folks home. She's like, "Who's got Alzheimer's out there?" Woo! Jesus,
That would be so
Dorina.
mean.
Yeah, no shit. But that's how terrible
they
of a
wouldn't
comedian
remember.
you are.
Oh,
Come on, those are the jokes.
And then here comes Riley. So we were also there, and then the story ended.
yeah, I was talking.
A skilled improv
Yeah.
person would be able to fill that in.
it's
So
like-
that's on you.
No, I got it, guys.
burn.
I drank some water.
Burn.
I drank some water and finished it, and everything was good. Josh,
As I said, a skilled improv person would be able to fill that in.
Yeah, I was talking to Mulligan this morning, and we were just talking about how just
She's finally going to be on tomorrow.
she's gonna be on tomorrow. But yeah, it's like I feel like everybody on this show is the same way. But the culture that we're in and the way that we're just the space for some reason in the movie space, it wasn't like that when Mark and I started doing it. It's like it feels a little bit. It's like it's too political now. And I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about the everybody involved in it too. It's like I miss the days. I think that's one of the reasons I jumped back into stand up because it took me back to that time to where you could just say what you wanted to do, throw the jokes, and if people got offended in the club, they got offended in the club. But I think I'm at that point now on this show and everything too. You get offended by the joke that I just made, and it's so big. You get offended.
Somebody's always
I
gonna
can't
get
worry about
offended.
it. I just can't worry about it anymore. And it's like, because it's too stressful to be like, oh my God, who do we just piss off?
Yeah.
Everybody gets pissed off.
I just think there should
Everybody,
be
all the
a
time.
balance, right? I think, and no matter what, somebody's going to get offended at something. But
Christian Rock
but
people, I'm
if-
sure, are going to get really offended that we hated on Christian Rock because now you love the devil.
Right, exactly. And but that's the thing. People are like, oh, like, why do they have this Satanist woman? Because I'm like, I'm not an actual Satanist. I don't believe in Satan, right? But like, people just got to chill out when it comes to joking.
Yes.
And also, it's a new time with technology, and we're on. There's a bunch of YouTube.
Devil people?
Shows obviously no, but there's a bunch of people on YouTube and they have all this space for videos, and I mean 10 years from now, what are they going to do? They're going to recycle all of these shows and edit them together to make us look good because we said something wrong, just like people go look at people's old tweets, right?
Yeah.
Like at some point we probably said something stupid, but the whole point is that you just keep evolving as a human, and it's okay to say stupid shit sometimes. That's what people don't get.
It's also it's just one of those things where people are going to get offended, but the flip side of that is they have the right to be offended. They have the right to voice it. It's just I just can't worry about it anymore because it's especially I realize that, when we're doing. When you're doing movie talk and when you're doing Jedi Council and things of that nature, it's like people want you to stick to the topics and feel it. But this show, the whole point of this show is that you can shoot the shit for an hour. You can do that type of stuff. And if you tune in just for the headline, then you're watching the wrong show. I'm sorry. I'm not like yelling at you for it.
You're just missing a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But even that, I'm just letting you know that if you tune in, you see the headline of it, and you tune in to watch. When are they going to talk? It's just not that show for you. And I'm also past the point of going, well, that's not the show, dude. It's like, no, just to let you know that this is probably not the show for you.
That's fine.
That there are definitely shows on this network for you, and you should probably check out because there are great shows on this network, whether it's movie talk or if you want to watch Jedi Council. Like, for example, like the Star Wars headline. We're going to get into that headline and talk about it for sure. I don't know when we're going to get there, but we're going to get there. But you have every right as that viewer to say, when are they going to talk about it? But I'm just letting you know that's what this show is more about, us just kind of shooting the shit, playing those games, finding out what my friends did on the weekend, because that's where I am at this point in my career, that I just want to kind of fuck around and have conversations with people. That's what gets me excited about coming to work every day.
Yes.
Totally.
I want to know.
Yes, because I want to talk about real things. I love talking about movies. I love I love talking about that stuff with you guys. But like you said, there's other shows. I like hanging out with my friends, and I like having conversations about everything with my friends. This is what I'd rather listen to a podcast like this. Well, not this one, obviously. But you know what I mean.
this
Just going into an improv game, I feel like there's going to be a fill in the blank here. Noon.
No.
And then at noon we ate eggs. Oh no.
Christian.
All right, let's do it again. Let's do it again. I'm fucking sick of this. Let's go.
You want to try more?
Yeah, let's
Riley,
go.
You start, Riley.
I have no idea how to do this. What is it?
You really are like Steve Carell.
What is it?
I've got
I don't know what we're yelling about.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
love Lamb.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about some news though as we move on and transition into some other news going on. Not a big story here, big stories.
Yeah.
What's going down?
Well, let's go back around to Eddie Murphy because he did confirm that he's going back to do stand up in 2020.
we
and
kind of
now,
know this already.
Yeah, we kind of knew it.
So he's waiting
Deadline.
until 2020.
Worst kept secret. type?
Yeah, it's the worst kept secret. Deadline finally reports and says he said it on this podcast. He's confirming that he's going back, and then he's saying he's going to host Saturday Night Live, and then after that he's going to start going on tour and working out his bits
Makes
and
sense.
getting back up on. And so everybody's going out. That is going to be the Netflix special. So he's going to prep, and we talked about this. I'm like, how long is that prep going to be?
Yeah.
So
What's
2020.
What's it going to be like, especially? Like, what do we think his material is going to be like? Because, so I asked this, you look at someone like Dave Chappelle, who we just talked about. Chappelle's been at it for like the last, 15, 20 years, just grind at the
But
grind.
he took that long break after Chappelle's show.
Really
Sort
quick,
of,
did
but
you
it was
guys think
only
his
2
special
years.
was really funny?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
loved
you
it.
didn't see it.
I loved it.
You loved it.
Did you
It
like
was
it?
great.
I didn't finish it. I thought it was like fine what I saw. I didn't
You
think
don't
it
get
was
offended easily though.
No, but I mean, I think he said some things that I could see why people got offended,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I didn't myself get offended. You know,
Right. But Murphy was the guy like in 83, 84 saying stuff. I mean, first of all, you watch Delirious, none of that stuff flies. So you talk about people getting offended. No, you can't.
No.
It's some people even say some of it's hate speech.
Yeah.
But he now and he's had and that was before the Eddie Murphy, the family film Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
What is he? What's his act like?
He lives in a castle. He's a billionaire.
Right. Like, how is he
Like,
relatable?
what is his
these days?
relating?
Right.
Yeah.
Because when Ellen did her special, right, she came out basically saying how she's not relatable.
Right.
And so, I mean, that was her point of view.
Yeah.
What is Eddie Murphy gonna talk about? Is he gonna be safe? Do you
I
think Eddie
don't
Murphy's
think-
gonna be safe?
I
or
don't
is
think
he
he's
gonna
going
go?
to be safe.
because
You
if
think
he's
he'll go
safe,
out?
he's probably going to be boring, right?
Totally.
That's what people
I
are going
couldn't
to
agree
think.
with. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, but I could see him also bombing if he doesn't, if he's not with the times.
I wonder if he'll do
issue.
something like Chappelle does. He'll go right at the culture. You know what I mean? And he'll comment on that.
Yeah, but that's what I thought was fascinating about the Chappelle special is that you can look at it from an objective point of view and think, okay, I think him trying to fight the political correct atmosphere that we live in he does have a point, right?
Mm-hmm.
He may have not done it in the most politically correct way, but that's what it
But
comes.
that was his point.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning these things. I think there should be a balance of, hey, let me make these jokes. You can tell me if you're offended by them. I can rework them and then see is this better. And it's probably going to be better for most people, but it's not going to be better for you. That might be offensive to you still, right? But I think it's important to talk about it because it's still comedy, right? That's what people have to understand. It's like you can be offended at it. That doesn't mean that you have a right to censor it and to not have people say these things.
Well, that's what I think. It's the cancel culture, that shut down thing of you don't like something, so you're either going to try to get them fired or have them get. It's like it's not the way it works. It's just like you can have should have your opinions on things,
especially if somebody is being offensive, because that does happen.
Right, but when it comes to the state of comedy, the question is, what is offensive and to you and not funny to you might be offensive to him but funny to him, or vice versa. And that's the thing with comedy that I think that comedy has suffered greatly for.
You clicked on my face.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what he says. in the
You
special.
guys really need to watch it. Like seriously,
I know.
it's
I'm gonna
like
try to watch it
as
this
soon as
weekend.
possible because it's like towards the end there, it washed over me how powerful it was at this moment.
Karina, Riley, did you guys watch the epilogue?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. So after the credits, there's a little like epilogue that pops up, and he basically does like a Q&A with the crowd. And it's wonderful.
It is.
Fantastic.
So you saw the whole thing, Christian, and you liked it a lot?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay,
Dave
cool.
Chappelle's my favorite comedian, so I might be a little biased, but
No,
he's great.
Okay.
I think, I said it on the show, I think on Monday or Tuesday when we weren't here Monday, but that like, I have trouble sitting down and watching Netflix specials all in a row because I've spent so much damn time in a comedy club that like, it just like, I'm just bored pretty quickly. So I watched like 20 minutes and 20 minutes and 20 minutes. I still haven't got to this epilogue. I didn't even know it existed, so I'm
Yeah, me
going to
either.
watch it. Yeah.
Oh God, the epilogue is probably the best part for me because he really is off. He's like, ask me questions, and then he riffs, and it's amazing.
I also wanted to bring up what's the comedian, this person's name, I forget her name. She did that special called Nanette.
Oh, Hannah Gadsby.
Thank you. Okay, so
Hannah Gadsby?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come along and see a spider?
So a bunch of people
She's from
thought
New
that was
Zealand.
either not funny at all,
Yeah, I couldn't get through that.
it was also just a cool kind of one woman show, and she was
people
touching up
call
on
it
a lot
brilliance.
of and a lot of interesting topics, and it's interesting that because for me personally, I can watch her show and enjoy it, and also agree and understand why she's pissed off. As like a lesbian woman and all these things that she talks about,
Wait a
right?
minute, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah, but I can also enjoy Chappelle.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel, right? It's like you can enjoy both, right? You don't have to choose a side and be like you can only do the politically correct comedy.
Well, that's why,
versus
and
not.
that's why I want to spin it back to Eddie Murphy though, because that's the thing, where you have Dave Chappelle. You knew watching the special, Dave Chappelle has never held back anything.
Right.
Eddie Murphy hasn't been on stage in a very long time. So the question is, when he goes up there, he was very honest and, again, raw back in the day. Will he continue to do that? Can he do that? Should he do that? I think that he's, it's will he go into that stuff? Remember he got
What
caught-
does he have to lose? He's got like millions and millions of dollars. Like at this point, just go out and rip.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're going to see the stuff in at the Comedy Store, and he's going to pop in. He's going to do, he won't announce it, but you'll be there, and he'll pop up, do 10 to 20 to 30 minutes and get it tight, and you're going to start seeing that more and more and more, hearing about it anyway.
He hasn't even been on SNL since the 80s, right?
Well, he was at the special in 2015, but he didn't do anything.
Right.
He didn't do anything. The reason why he wouldn't, David Spade did that Hollywood Minute special. He was a bit back in the day on during the news thing, and he would crack on celebrities, and he riffed, and he did something on Eddie Murphy, and that pissed Eddie Murphy off. And for like years, Eddie Murphy wouldn't even take phone calls from them. And finally, they came to an agreement, and then he was there, didn't do any jokes, was really not funny at all. And now he's going to host, so that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite Eddie Murphy SNL skit?
I mean, Mr. Robinson's probably easy, but I mean,
That's my favorite.
James Brown, because when he did James Brown's really good, and the Gumby stuff.
Gumby's really good,
based
yeah.
off. He said it as Gumby was based off his neighbor.
That's
yeah,
the what it is.
I've never laughed so hard in my life as a young boy. The Una Panuna Banca and the question marks, because I memorized it and I would do it for my family. And they were like, "What are you doing?"
Sit on the dab, dude. East labor.
The question why I don't know. See, the thing is because when you look at that was only 50 like not even 50 years old, the Little Rascals at that point. So that's still in the zeitgeist. Now?
No.
I don't know if it'd play.
No.
I mean, it played to us old fogies, but it wouldn't, people may not even know who the hell that is.
Well, if you watch that Little Rascals movie, but the thing is that they didn't play up Buckwheat's inability to say words. He only said "ote" once
because it was the most racist character of all
super
time.
offensive.
Super
offensive.
Bill Cosby, of all people, was pulled. He owned all the footage for it and wouldn't allow it because of the representation. He wasn't wrong. I mean, because when they made that in the 30s, it's like that it wasn't a great time.
it was not.
No, so and that's how he would the black that's how black people were being represented to a mass audience. So I understand, and so that's why it probably wouldn't happen.
It's like it's similar to the Song of the South thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, exactly, because it's just a time where that's because the way that that black people were portrayed in that time was like, well, this is the way it is, and that's the way that we see these people, and it's like we don't want to portray that as Disney, and as that's in the 30s. That's the way it was, and I understand taking the footage out, not having those released, and all that. It's the same thing like Dumbo, like those crows.
Right. That's so weird, man. Because again, as you guys know, I did not grow up here, so I didn't learn American history until I moved to the States in college, and then I was like, your guys' slavery history is messed up.
Right.
I knew a little bit about it, but goddamn, no wonder everyone's pissed off.
Right. Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah. Anyway, so to have Eddie Murphy come back, and I'm crossing my fingers to see. I want it to be great. I want it to be great. I watched Delirious a billion times when I was a kid. All right, what else is coming up in the news?
So let's stay on some cultural stuff here.
Sure.
Crazy Rich Asians writer exits the sequel
because
there's a huge pay disparity. Huge. It was like let me get it correct here. So co-writer Peter Shirelli is getting paid something. There's an $800,000 to $1 million to be paid to Shirelli, who is white, and then the only Asian woman that's coming on to co-write it with her is getting $110,000 versus $800,000 to $1 million. So she walked. She went bullshit, and I'm out.
Right.
So that's what's happening right now with the.
Well, that's your problem with unions. Right?
Yeah.
And with pay discrepancy is that because based on experience and your resume and your quotes is that Peter Shirelli's quote is $800,000.
Yeah, this is Writers Guild
to $1 million.
Minimums.
And this young girl, what's her name? Claire Lim. Is
Yeah.
What it says?
No, that's our Claire Lim. What's her?
No, Claire Lim is our.
Yeah, that's our girl.
I wish they would. Adele Lim.
Adele Lim. Sorry, her last name's Lim. That she has not written a bunch. She was one of the writers on the first movie.
Right.
But she doesn't have a quote that high. It's not. I think it's wrong that the Crazy Rich Asians didn't go about it or the studio didn't go about it. But she also doesn't have a high enough quote right now. And if she went in there and asked for that quote. I mean, or Peter Shirelli maybe came across. I don't know, but what I'm saying here is that it's not so much the problem of like because she's a certain ethnicity they're not paying her enough. It's because the union demands the quotes per the writer.
Serena, what do you think?
Well, I actually saw this news yesterday on Twitter via our friend
Becca
Rebecca Ford.
Yeah.
And she actually tweeted, the SEO system for writers' rates is based on quotes, which are based on experience.
Right.
But Lim, the film's only Asian writer, brought an authenticity to this project that it would have failed without. Right. So it's one of those things where you have to consider that, but then how are things actually like paid out?
Can't you negotiate this?
Yeah.
Period.
But
get rid of that shit.
But
go
a lot
in.
of big time writers have people that negotiate for them. But
Right.
someone like her probably doesn't. I'm not sure. Or maybe now she does have an agent or someone, right?
I mean, I know there's a huge discrepancy between 800,000 and $1 million, obviously.
Right.
It's still $110,000 effing dollars to write a script. It's still a lot of money.
It is.
It's a lot of money.
I think it's the point,
okay?
though. I think it's the overall
I get
point.
it. I'm not trying to make any kind of what I'm
I
saying
know
here
you're
on
saying
this whole thing
it's
is
the unions the one who are dealing with it, but I think for
give her 350,
But
400.
the studio probably also blames things on unions just so they don't have to pay them because they
Right.
have.
And how many other writers are on this?
Because they decide how they distribute the money.
Just
and
the two
usually,
of them.
like even people like Angelina Jolie have said how they as actors, like their salaries are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like some actors actually admit that, right? So you can distribute the wealth, and they should be paying the crew more than getting an actor an apartment on set.
I'm sure
like,
Peter
that's
Shirelli
ridiculous.
doesn't come into the writers room like, how much are you making? How much are you making?
Right.
How much
or
are you
maybe
making?
he does.
He comes in like Oprah. How much
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
making?
So,
How much
yeah.
me.
Like if you watch Hard Knocks. If you watch Hard Knocks on HBO, which this season has been terrible, but they do this rookie thing where they stand up and he's like, "All right, position and signing bonus." I'm like, "What?"
Ooh,
Like
yikes.
that's it. First of all, it's so fucking vapid and pretentious. And the fact that you're saying this and you're saying it in front of your teammates, because the one guy was like signing bonus 750,000, the other guy was signing bonus 23,000. You're like, okay, I get it. There's ability levels and certain things, but at the end of the day, it's just well, everybody knows how much I make. Oh shit, I missed it.
It's just a
fuck. Botch.
I don't understand.
Botch. Botch.
It's just a reason to go to the deli.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
But I think Adele Lim should make the money.
Yeah.
She should make more money. I agree. Go to her agent, get more money. And if the studio and people are going to boycott, people are going to come across like Crazy Rich Asians 2 sucked because they didn't have Adele Lim on it. You can see it coming. Peter Shirelli shouldn't have to ask for less. She should get more.
Mm-hmm.
That's his quote. It's his quote.
Yeah.
all right.
They don't want him. They don't want him. That's his quote.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. All right. Let's see here. Will Poulter has been the first cast in the Lord of the Rings.
Oh wait, almost Pennywise.
Almost Pennywise has been
was he
the
almost
first.
Pennywise?
He was cast as Pennywise.
Was he? I didn't know that.
When Cary
Yeah.
Fukunaga was going to do it, he cast Will Poulter, which that would have been pretty great. I think it would have
He's a
been
creepy
just
kid.
as good.
Can he move his eyes like Bill Skarsgård?
Bill
I
Skarsgård,
don't
where
think
he-
so.
Bill
You know
Skarsgård
he
is
does
some
that for
stuff.
real, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. I
So
don't care.
Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård,
Yeah.
the actor,
Yeah.
can actually move his eyes
that's
apart.
What they asked the questions about. Yeah, he can move. Yeah, like a freakadeek.
He's actually a killer clown.
Yeah.
Cool, maybe.
So
what's this?
So we don't know who what the role is. It's unknown at this time.
For
but
what
he's,
again? I'm sorry?
This is the Lord of the Rings
okay,
show.
okay,
So
cool.
we have
Oh,
finally our first cast member. So we don't know exactly what he's playing, and people are speculating.
Speaking of Will Poulter, I saw the Midsummer's director's cut this
How is
weekend.
that?
So good.
Stay on. Will you stay on this
Just
story for a
wanted
second?
to say.
Yeah.
So this series, though, we know that this is a prequel. Yes.
It's a prequel.
Okay. How
Yes.
far? How far is this during Isildur?
It's like the forging of the rings, I think.
Let me
So,
find out.
so
It's-
Sauron is Sauron in this thing as actual Sauron running around chopping people up and shit.
I don't think Soren
Friggin'
runs.
still run.
Oh, I know he does.
He like walks
Nah, there
really
was a
slowly
number.
because
It was
he's
like
big.
1,000 years before Lord
like
of
a
the
bunch of-
Rings.
So
I'm
maybe
thinking-
so because I want to. That was the one thing about Lord of the Rings
Because
that-
Sauron was just an eye.
He was just an eye, and I was waiting to see him. I mean, that's the whole point is that he
Right.
just never gets back to his form. But I want to see what he was like when he was.
I know,
in
crushing
his
it.
They
prime.
should do a la Richard Linklater and do a Silmarillion movie over the span of 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Oh right,
Sure.
That could work.
But
yeah,
I-
so it's
yeah.
it's the mythology was when the times of the rings of power, including Sauron's
Great.
one ring, came into existence. So
Awesome.
the Second Age,
That's-
exploring that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome with all the
Yeah.
kings and everything too, and how it all went ape shit. And,
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it's leading. It could lead up. The series could lead up to the battle that opens Fellowship of
that's
the
what-
Ring.
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
So, you know,
Is this the
Amazon.
Hulu series or Amazon?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I wasn't on board with the series at first because I think I was just a little butthurt after Hobbit and just
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the whole thing, right? But now, like
This is
the
the
more
kind of stuff that you like, the
I
mythology.
do, yeah. I like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this. I think it's going to be really cool to see how it's going to work out. And It's a very expensive series, obviously. Yeah. Another expensive series. What's going on with this thing? Another expensive series is Mandalorian, which we'll talk about after the break. So don't worry about that. We are going to be talking about that because some news came out about Mandalorian, a couple details. So that's going to be very interesting. But before we get into that, anything else?
Just for the horror fans out there, and since we have Darina, they're bringing back the original. Her name is Lindsay Wallace. She played Jamie Lee Curtis's the girl she was babysitting in the original Halloween.
Oh.
She's coming back, grown up in the Halloween Kills sequel. But my favorite part of this story is that Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to, announce that she's coming back, and she tagged somebody on Twitter. Wrong, Lindsay. It was a porn star. that Jamie Lee Curtis tagged. And Jamie Lee was awesome. And she's like, well, wrong one, but I'm going to leave it up because the sentiment's still there. So it was pretty funny.
Love that. That's like the time when Ellis tweeted out about LaCroix.
Yeah.
And it was a porn star. LaCroix. So good.
There's a porn star named LaCroix.
Something LaCroix.
And it's spelled like that too?
Yeah. And so Ellis didn't know, and he was tweeting. But I can't remember what the tweet was. The tweet was something like, I'm looking forward to finally getting into LaCroix or something like that. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it was. He told the story on live, I think, about how
that's
it turned out to be a porn
That's
star.
funny.
That's
Well,
fantastic.
that porn star probably doesn't taste very good.
Ah,
You never know.
or maybe delicious, sparkling.
Depending on your taste, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah. So you guys haven't seen Midsummer?
No. What is
No.
Oh yeah, it's that one. That's
It's one of the
really
best
creepy
movies of
one.
the year.
I know. I
For
want
you.
to see it.
For
Yeah.
you.
Ruel Cabo, did you see it?
Yeah, I liked it. We talked about it. It's good. Bye.
Fine. Whatever. You guys should see it. It's really good. Best movie of the year, I think. One of
Did
them.
you not like it, Christian?
And Tigers Are Not
What's
Afraid.
going on with this thing?
No, I did like it a lot. Yeah,
you did,
it's
okay.
it's really good. I don't like it as much as Hereditary, but it's good.
Is
It's
it
a
like-
feel-good movie.
Is it Get Out? Is it Get Out
No.
mixed with white people?
No, not at all.
No,
It's nothing
it's
like
very
Get Out.
disturbing.
Yeah, I don't.
What's it about?
It's about a
Riley trying to do improv.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
it's a
good movie.
It's
Very
a girl
scary.
that goes on a trip with her boyfriend and
Will
his
Poulter?
friends that are doing their thesis on cults and languages, in foreign languages and things like that. And then they end up in Sweden in this cult
No,
where everybody
that's neat.
appears to be nice and has flowers in their hair, and then stuff starts getting weird. Yeah.
And this is from the same director as Hereditary.
Correct, Ari Aster, yeah, and who is one of I think the best filmmakers right now. He's incredible.
Based on Hereditary?
No, not at all.
Well, speaking of Eddie Astra, the movie with
Ari Aster.
I know, but the movie with
Brad Pitt.
Ed Astra.
Ed Astra.
Does that sound like a '70s actor?
Yes.
Should play a cop or
Like
bagel
Ed
shop
Asner?
owner. Yeah, that's
But Ed Astor.
it's a really bad title.
I don't know what it means, and I've been making fun of it since the
Yeah, I
trailer
don't like
released.
it.
And I guarantee you, I guarantee you, my mom and dad are going to go to the theater and be like, "What's that, Astra? It's good. Let's go see something else." Like that. It's not the kind of title that gets people in the thing. If it was like Space Dad Kill, no, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? Like it's the Ad Astra does not get me into a seats of a movie.
No.
It doesn't.
Riley, any other breaking news? Anything going on?
No breaking news.
Variety
Just
and
the
Reporter.
what's that?
What's Variety and Reporter tweeting about right now?
You're really looking for some news right now. How
Yeah,
about
something.
do you care about the Tomb Raider sequel that just got
I
a
do
director?
actually. I'll tell you, I do care because
Yeah.
I didn't mind that last movie.
You
I
like
thought-
the first
I thought
one?
it was okay. I don't think it was like a great movie, but I thought it was entertaining. I thought she was a good Lara Croft. I thought that Laura, whatever the fuck.
Laura, sure.
That's what I said.
Porsche, you douche.
I know exactly, but I thought it was good. I thought she was really good, and I wound up liking that movie more than I thought that I would. And I remember leaving it saying I'd like to see a sequel for that one. So
Well,
there
you're
we
getting
go.
one. And
There you go.
High Rise director Ben Wheatley is signed on, and we're going to get it.
Is that
in
the one with Dwayne the Rock Johnson, High Rise?
No,
No, it's
No,
not.
Skyscraper. Which one is High Rise?
I thought that was the Tom Hiddleston show. No,
No, that's
Oh,
Night
wait,
Manager.
wait.
so not even close. Okay, so
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's go. High Rise is the story of a man and his dog who were left for
elves. They were left for elves because what happened was there was this mythical event, and so there was a guy named Rudy.
Oh, Rudy.
Alcoholic.
Crazy.
And so his wife, whose name was
Unicorn.
Yeah.
And then they went looking for her, but they couldn't find her because there was a bunch of they had to follow the trail of the rainbow coming out of her butthole. So then they finally actually ran into a
wild bunch of bees that went and spun around them and stung them horribly, and so they went running back to the rainbow where they saw an opening in the ground that led to
Riley.
So I'd like to thank the Academy And I'd like everybody to fucking stop.
Christian's like, why didn't they throw it to me?
Yeah, I don't know.
Buttholes.
Anyways, the Tomb Raider sequel is going to be released on March 19th, 2021. So we're going to get it pretty soon.
So I haven't seen this movie. Is it better than Angelina?
I liked it better than Angelina Jolie
Really?
movies. Yeah. Hey, Christian, do you mind? I know you're by yourself back there. Can you bring up the upcoming movie releases schedule?
Okay.
I think if you just put in the numbers, type in literally call it the numbers upcoming release schedule. I want to go over all the movies that are coming up for like the next year and see what like really pops out.
You mean this year or next year?
No,
And then
from like,
the remainder
from,
of the year?
from like now until next year. And
Okay.
and one
Dr.
more,
Sleep.
And Christian, one more thing.
Yes.
I'm sorry. For some reason, like this. Can you turn my mic up on your side? Because I
Um,
don't know. There you go. Okay, perfect.
okay.
That's good. All right. So Riley, you got to get your big.
Yep.
Your head is huge sometimes. I swear to God. All right. So. If we go, let's go.
dick comment.
Perfect. Yeah, it is.
That's fine.
Let's go to. We know September. This. Oh. All right. So It Chapter 2, we know that opens up this weekend. So a lot of people are going to be seeing that. Neza. I don't know which one that is. What's that? What's Neza?
Got nothing.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going down. I don't see the Goldfinch Hustlers. Keep going. Keep going. I'm going to tell you to stop when there's something worth it. Ed Astra. Oh, good old Ed. Downton Abbey, the movie. Rambo Last Blood, September 20th.
Okay,
Sign me up. I didn't realize it was coming out. I'm so excited.
Ooh, Diego Maradona.
Abominable,
That's a soccer thing.
which is going to definitely be a kids movie, September 27th.
Looks like How to Train Your Dragon. Same people.
What's October 2nd? War. What is that? I don't know what that is.
What is it good for?
Yeah, so-
Absolutely nothing. Saying that
All
again.
right, War, and then October 4th is Joker. That's
Yeah.
that's one of the big ones.
Yeah.
October 11th. What you talking about the Addams Family coming out? I haven't heard a
But that's
single thing about
but
it.
that's
Animated, still haven't heard a thing. Gemini Man finally coming out. Jexy, and then the current War. October 18th, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Zombieland.
Zombieland.
That's what
Alien
I'm into.
re-release.
Yeah, well, they're re-releasing it. I mean, they're also doing the Ghostbusters are re-releasing, right?
And I skipped over October 15th. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. There's a special engagement coming out, so that's
Ooh,
cool.
Jojo Rabbit. I can't wait to see that.
That one, yeah, I'm into.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah, October 25th, Black and Blue Countdown,
Why
The Last
just
Full Measure.
spill
Keep
your
going.
beans?
November 1st, Arctic Dog, Motherless Brooklyn, and Terminator.
Yeah.
November 8th, it's Doctor Sleep.
What's
there you
that
go.
one?
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep is the Shining
sequel.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's no good.
Last Christmas, Midway, Playing with Fire. November 15th, All Rise, Charlie's Angels, Ford versus Ferrari, which is
I
what I
like
want to
that.
see.
Yeah, me
The
too.
Good Liar. November 22nd, 21 Bridges, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Frozen 2,
that's mine.
and that to me, that's a good weekend right
Huge
there.
weekend.
November-
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm so
yeah,
excited.
me too. Knives Out, Queen and which one's Knives Out, Riley?
Knives Out is Ryan Johnson's next movie.
Oh, right.
With that crazy cast.
With an
Yes,
awesome
yes.
cast.
Queen and Slim, Untitled Blumhouse Horror Project. That's interesting.
I like the
Whoa,
trailer
whoa,
for Queen and
whoa.
Slim.
When Harry Met Sally re-release.
You're really losing
I'll
it
go
here,
see
Grandpa.
it.
Are you kidding me? That's the greatest rom-com of all time.
It is,
I
but I
agree.
mean,
Yeah, but
so
if
you're
they're
gonna
just
go.
they're not rewriting the movie
There
and
is
casting.
Pepper
in the
in
theater.
the
Experience it in the theater.
You're gonna go see it in the theater. You're not gonna see it in the theater.
Pepper. Why not?
I will.
Okay.
I will. I will. I love
Who,
it.
I
who wants to take a bet that if we just mention it right now, but never mention it ever again, Riley forgets about it and does not see it.
Ding.
I'll tell you, it's 100% chance. So
Then I'm right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So December 13th is Black Christmas. Then Jumanji: The Next Level. Very interested in about that
Me
one.
too.
20th, Bombshell, Cats, and Star Wars. I will be seeing Cats in the theater. I'm not
I
lying
will
to you
too.
for sure.
I'm too, just because it'll be hilarious.
Stoned out of our
yeah, wait.
board.
Let's
Yeah.
take a lot of edibles.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
All right, let's move to 2020 now because this is where we get interesting here.
The Grudge.
The Grudge.
That ain't coming out.
Yeah, no, you don't think so?
No, there hasn't been.
Right,
Unless,
so,
unless they filmed
Like
it.
a Boss, My Spy, Underwater, and then January 17th is Bad Boys. There you go. And The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle
It's
also.
a Porsche, you dumb fuck!
That's right. January
Idiot.
24th, The Gentleman, Run, The Turning. Gretel and Hansel, is that the sequel?
Yes.
No.
No.
It's new. It's,
Yes, he
it's,
says.
It's
He's just like one of those guys. Like, do you know John Pazitsky? Yes. Yeah. And his head is, I don't know, fuck John Pazitsky.
it's not a sequel. It's just a twist on it. And who plays Bev? Young Bev? I can't remember her name.
Sophia Lillis.
Thank you.
Okay.
She's going to be playing Gretel, and she's like the older
Hansel
sister.
is
and
Nicholas Holt.
it looks like It looks like
Brandel
It
Chambers.
looks like the witch.
Really?
It's really crazy.
Okay,
looking.
well, what's
Yeah.
this? So February 7th, obviously Birds of Prey, we know that's going to be a big one.
Yes.
But then Fantasy 14,
Sonic
Fantasy Island
Hedgehog.
coming out. Okay, interesting. The Kingsman, that's what. The Photograph, Sonic the Hedgehog. What's the Untitled Disney live action? The hell's that?
They have a new franchise called Untitled.
Untitled. Okay. Yeah. So who knows?
That was funny.
Yeah. So February 21st, Bloodshot, Call of the Wild. February 28th, Bad Trip, The Invisible Man. March 6th, Monster Problems, Onward, which just looks amazing. I cannot wait to see Onward.
That's the one with the brothers, like in the van.
That's the one I was telling you about. Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah. The Way Back. Again?
No, the way back
Oh, okay.
was the one
That
we
was the
liked.
one we liked, that
And
one.
remember we went to see
Yeah.
James
No, Tony,
Gandolfino.
Ooh,
remember.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Is that legit coming out?
Yeah.
So excited.
There was rumors about it moving its date. As of now, it's still that date.
Who you got, Christian?
Give it to me.
Who's going to win?
Are we spoiling King of the Monsters?
Just who do you think is going
It's
to
Batman v Superman all over again.
win? Who
Come
do you
on.
think is going to? Are they going
They're gonna
to?
make
Are
a
they
King
going to be
Ghidorah.
friends at the end?
Yes, they're gonna fight for 10 seconds.
Is their
and they're
name
gonna
going to
team
be
up.
Martha? Their mom's name.
Maybe
Martha?
they're gonna team up, and it's so predictable.
And you know what? It's going to be fucking awesome.
Thank you,
so
Christian.
excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm looking
too.
forward to it, but
Me
it's
too.
but they're not gonna fight each other.
Yes, they are.
At
They're
first,
gonna
they're not
for a
gonna
little
they're not
bit.
gonna stay enemies. Is what I mean.
It'll be better than BVS for sure. Let's move on.
All right,
Well, the
moving on.
original. They fought all the way.
what
to
Did
about-
you
the
like the second one?
Which one?
King of Monsters?
Oh my god.
Really?
Oh my god, it's the
Are you-
greatest thing on the planet.
Wow.
It's so fucking boring.
Yeah, okay.
That's like perfect for a Godzilla movie. All of them are boring.
All right,
Great.
all right. March
love boring
20th. It's a
movies.
good sell. I
Well,
still.
no, he means the other stuff. The
I know what he
non-fighting
means.
stuff.
I know what he means. I still believe A Quiet Place 2, which
Yes.
I'm more interested in now that Krasinski's coming back.
Yep.
Mulan. I'll tell you what. From
Mulan.
everything I've seen, holy shit!
It's
Looks
the
amazing.
only live-action Disney that I've seen a preview for that I'm actually interested in.
I cannot wait to take my daughter to see that movie because I told my daughter she doesn't love the first one, the animated.
Really? Yeah.
She I mean, she doesn't dislike it, but
Really?
it's not.
She doesn't get excited. She's like, "Let's get down to
It
business."
doesn't pop. She likes Aladdin and those other things. She doesn't. It doesn't pop the same way.
What's this Mulan movie?
But I told her, I said they're doing a live action one. This martial arts. 'Cause my daughter's into karate. And right away she's like, "Can we go today?" I was like, "It's not out yet."
Go on.
Yeah. Snake Eyes. Which one? Now, which Snake Eyes is that? That's not the movie. That's not a G.I. Joe movie, is it?
Yeah, that's the
standalone.
That's the standalone that we just got some casting
Hey,
news
on the
on.
next
Okay.
hour, can you read as like a Wikipedia entry since you're
Of
reading
what?
all of these titles?
What do you mean?
I was making fun. Anyway, continue.
Cyborg. Which Cyborg?
The
Which one's that?
Cyborg. Oh yeah. It's coming out.
which one is it?
DC's Cyborg.
Is that really?
Is
Is it?
Yeah,
That's not true. Okay.
Nuh-uh.
Father. So this is just what was planned, but we don't. Oh, they got me shit. They have New Mutants in there. So no time to. This is all things that could happen. Trolls World Tour definitely coming out. That looked pretty good. Barbie covers Greyhound. Legally Blonde
Legally
3?
Blonde 3.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Untitled Saw film. The Woman in the Window. Fast and Furious 9. SpongeBob. Artemis Fowl. Wonder Woman 1984 coming out in June. Candyman. Judd Apatow and Pete Davidson movie. Okay.
Is that a Candyman remake?
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's
Jordan
right.
Peele's
That's
Yay.
right. And Top Gun, June 26th.
That looked amazing.
Minions, another Minions movie. Okay.
Minions Rise of Gru.
Yeah, that's in
though.
July. Bob's Burgers, Jungle Cruise.
Tenet.
Nothing really. No, nothing huge.
Morbius.
Nothing really too big in the summer, and then Bill
July
and Ted.
Tenet.
What is it?
Nolan's next movie.
Which one is that? Where is
Tenet.
that?
Tenet.
Oh, okay. Did you guys hear about? So that's good enough for now, as far as what we read. But the leaks for that. There was a leak on the trailer for Tenet.
Yeah, it's only in theaters. They haven't released it
Yeah,
online
but there was a
yet.
leak. There was a leak online.
Yeah,
for what
yeah.
they said.
People have been, and then Warner Brothers keeps
and some
pulling
people
it down.
and some people say that it kind of looks like Inception, right?
Has the Inception font.
So do we? Yeah. Do we think that it's?
That's all we got.
Do you think it's an Inception sequel?
No. But I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the
if-
universe.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a weird cameo or little Easter eggs along the movie.
connection
that
to
are,
somehow,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we're going to go to break. When we go to break, we get back from break, we are going to have John Wick in studio to talk about some stuff. Got some cool things going on. And John Wick 3, I got it on my desk. Why? We'll talk about that in a little bit, too. And then, yes, we're going to talk about the Mandalorian, talking about the First Order. What's going to happen there after the break?
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, if you've been watching us every week, we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Welcome to another episode of Truth Serum.
The man this nation needs. Banks Jenkins. A real man to expose their secrets. He will speak the truth.
I will speak the truth.
Truth Serum.
Mom, I gotta go. Welcome to another episode of Truth Serum. I'm your host, Banks Jenkins, and I want you to be scared. I want you to be very scared because right now, at this exact moment, we are experiencing a global takeover. It's the end of democracy as we know it, and it's all about this, the high table. What is the high table? Well, no one really knows. The high table appears to be a cabal with a global reach and a willingness to kill. And folks, we've got so much information that we need to share with you. So for that, we go to the Banks Vault. This is where we keep all the evidence given to us by our Truth Militia members. All the evidence. What do we have? Let's take a look. Suspicious-looking garbage men. We've got gunfights at Russian nightclubs. We've got gold bullion in taxi cabs. We've got subway knife fights. We've got bodies falling off of hotel roofs and then disappearing. We've got an altercation in the ancient text aisle of the public library. Now look, all of these instances, they're not circumstantial. They have meaning. They all tie together with one big operation, and that operation is here. The Continental Hotel. Go to Yelp. Will you find a review? No, you will not. Go to bookings.com, go to hotels.com, go to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, go to travelzoo.com. Zilch, okay? How do you have a hotel that has no way to book, no reviews, and not even a website? Are you getting angry yet? Because I am. Sarah. Take a look at this footage we have of a very loyal militia member, Truth Militia, trying to get inside this hotel, the Continental Hotel. See how far he goes.
Deserves to know the truth about the Continental.
Now, all you truth or nots, I want you to help me figure out this conspiracy. So call us now. The phones are open. You're on with Banks Jenkins.
Hi, Banks. Longtime fan of your show. So yeah, I run the clock repair shop just down the street from the Continental. The people I see going in there are very bizarre. Lots of tattoos, overcoats, top hats, furs, and an occasional dog.
Dogs? It's dog friendly? All of these things are connected. I've got some information for you that is gonna blow your mind. Blow your mind. It's not one hotel. It's a global network. The high table. It's everywhere. What do they want? What do they need? What are they looking for? What are they after? Well, tune in next episode and we will go further down this rabbit hole.
And we are back on Collider Live, ladies and gentlemen. And joining us in the studio is the one and the only John, the Outlaw Roca.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, before we get into this, we haven't really talked about it on the air.
I haven't heard. I can't
hear yourself.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear?
I can hear you though.
Test,
That's
check,
important.
check. Can you hear yourself?
You can't hear you?
Still can't hear yourself?
I can hear it. What's going on?
Okay, now you're okay.
How's it going on?
What was that from, Christian? What song? What piece of music was that?
It's not from anything. It's just
It's a royalty-free song.
royalty-free.
Oh.
What's wrong? You okay? You look a little chill. What's going on?
I'm looking a little chill. Is that okay? What do you want me to do? Yell at you?
You want a fist fight? You want to get into a fist fight?
So listen. So the one thing that we did announce, because the match between Snyder and Oyama has not aired yet. That's on Friday. But one of the things that we did announce is that on October 19th in Florida,
Orlando.
October 19th, John Roca and Dan Murrell will be challenging for the team titles against Corruption, Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison. You guys have been beaten by them twice.
Sure.
And now Dan has never won the team's championship. You haven't had it since the end of 2016.
Was that the last time we beat you guys?
That was the last time you lost to the Patriots. That's when you lost to the Patriots. So so how are you feeling about this?
I'm excited. Listen.
Nervous? No?
That's my words right there. Nervous at all? No. Actually, strangely, can I cuss on this? Strangely fucking excited. I am so excited because, like, you wait for the opportunities to match up with people that you really want to kick the shit out of.
Right.
And there are no two people on the planet that want to kick the shit out of more than KO Kalinowski and Chance Ellison. Boys, being the hunted is different than doing the hunting. We are hunting. Your asses are grasses, and I'm going to take your asses down. Me and Dan, so excited. I've been studying like crazy. I've got whole new study sheets. Friends are submitting me questions that I've never had before. So I'm just like, I'm so dialed in, and I'm excited about it.
Want your ass?
Yeah, it's a big match. It's a really big match, but Kalinowski's on fire right now.
Sure he is.
Yeah.
We've seen that before.
Fire.
You guys are already going at it on Twitter.
He's 6-5 in singles. I hate to remind you, Mikey boy. So this is not an IG competition.
But you guys have been going at it on Twitter a lot, back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Firing at each other all over the place.
It's fun.
Yeah.
The only match that I ever played terribly and got my ass handed to me was Mike Kalinowski. And I mean, there was a lot of badness on my side and a lot of goodness on his side.
But he did come through with his nickname. And he's the only person to ever knock you out.
Yes,
KO,
correct.
which
Yes,
is crazy.
true.
Including the people that you're about to fight, and everybody on the league. Who's the one that you really just want to beat?
Kalinowski.
That's
There's
him.
no one else.
That's your Everest.
He's a mini me. He's a mini me of the outlaw. He's like my mini me.
You see, so he's basically trying to do everything you did before.
You
He's
compared him to Donald Trump on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I posted not on Twitter, on the Facebook group.
the
Yeah, I
Facebook
posted
group,
something that was really funny, just to kind of. Hey, look, if you're gonna come at the outlaw, we're gonna have fun going back and forth.
Is that
needling
exciting
each
to you
other.
because you haven't had that in a while? You haven't had someone to go back and forth.
Because some people can't take it, and some people don't understand this aspect of the game. And last night there was this whole thing about it too, and so it was like some people just don't get it, and it's fun to go back and forth. The outlaw is not John Roca. John Roca is not the outlaw, you know. And so the outlaw is a fun thing to kind of like play around with. It's like
So the outlaw versus KO.
Yeah, Kalinowski is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. We've been friends for over 20 years, as long as we've been friends. And he just recently did an episode of my podcast, The Geek Buddy. So we're friends, but this is fun for us to go back and forth, and Mike enjoys it.
Right.
I like to think that the wild man is mostly me.
He is mostly as a person.
But anyway, that match, October 19th, you don't want to miss this one because it's the second to last show that we're doing live. Third to last show that we're doing live. And very excited to get that there. And now that we have the main event with you and Dan versus Corruption, the schmodownlive.com, get your tickets. So,
You know the only thing I don't like about Chance Ellison?
Oh.
Is that he has a good name to have so many different puns being used for entry songs, for like, you know, the hard target alone. Throw out, there's so many songs that have the word dance in them. And he could have, it could be like, Chance, like there are many. Chance now. Yeah, like there are so many different things that Chance could have done, and he is blowing it. That kid is effing blowing
If your name was Chance, then it would work. He's not. He's you know, he's sunglasses, solid, just kind of going in there. He's very good. But you and him have some kind of rivalry going too.
But he could walk out on the stage and he could walk straight to a microphone and go, "Why is my name Chance?" And the crowd could yell back, "'Cause your mama took one." Like that is an easy thing to do, and he has blown it. That is entertainment value.
And for that, you want him to win.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. He's boring.
You think he's boring?
Oh, he's boring.
So what is it with Chance? Why? Because from
he's Polo Yama with a hat.
But what I've seen with Chance is that he's really good trivia, right?
Yeah.
And the fans seem to like him better than Oyama. People like to boo Oyama. Well, the thing with Oyama that we talked about the other day, I think
like Oyama a
I
lot.
think Oyama is so great for the league because Oyama doesn't give a fuck. I talked to Oyama. He just wants to go up. He wants to play.
Yeah.
And he just wants to play. He doesn't
I
care.
like that.
You can boo him or not boo him. You can cheer him if you want to. He doesn't care. He just wants to play. I think Chance wants the accolades. I think
Chance needs it.
But
Paul doesn't need it. That's the difference.
And I think maybe because he's in corruption, he gets more love from the fans, right?
Yeah.
But the locker room seems to have a thing with Chance and Paul.
Chance is abrasive to a lot of the players, and he's cocky and arrogant. And like all of us play these characters, but offset, we're pretty supportive and positive with each other.
I think Chance is pretty positive and supportive.
That's not what I'm hearing from a number of people behind the scenes. That he's been quite rude to them. Oyama as well. They have,
Really?
but Paul's been nothing but nice to me.
I see. I mean, he's very.
So I got nothing to say
Chance is
for
very
Paul.
respectful to me when I talk to him.
You're the boss.
You jagwagon.
But still,
It's like saying Goodell. They was nice to me.
But I still see him, and I think Chance is a very pretty. I mean, again, I think these kids, what they're trying to do, it's like they're coming into this thing from being fans, watching the Outlaw, watching the Outlaw win titles, and now you're playing up against him, and it's basically it's like being in prison. You want to make sure you pop the guy in the mouth to let him know that you're tough and you can hang.
You know, there's another way to go about it. Hey, man, I respect what you've done. Let's go at it. Let's
And he's
have
never
fun.
had that conversation?
No, hell no.
Well, either way, you get to play
Oyama
him.
has.
You get to play him now, and you get to try to take a title off him October 19th. The schmodownlive.com in Florida. Go and get those tickets today. All right, let's move. You got something else going on.
Look at my eyes.
You ready?
You know.
I know you're ready.
Yeah.
All right, tell me what's going on here today, because we got the
yeah.
John Wick 3, easily
This is
one of the best
awesome.
movies of the year.
Absolutely.
Totally. Yeah.
Chapter 3 Parabellum is fantastic. It's out. It's coming out on September 10th for the 4K on stuff.
Yeah.
But out right now, you can go to this website for Lionsgate and see these episodes, Truth Serum episodes.
Jeff Snyder hosts this, right?
Yeah, Jeff Snyder's younger brother.
No,
yeah.
it's actually, remember, it's Jeff Snyder's and the Bagel Boys' son.
It's like they mixed up
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
Yeah, Eddie Jemison is the guy who's playing this character called Banks Jenkins, and there's 4 episodes. They're about 3.5 minutes each, and he tries to expose what's going on with the Continental and the High Table, and he's here to tell the truth about this stuff. It's a really
I like
fun
the premise.
episode.
I like the idea and the premise of it because when you watch the movies, the John Wick movies, it's just like this is the world, and you don't really see anything from the real world.
Right.
But this is the guy who's kind of exposing it. And it's wondering, is that going to play into John Wick 4?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
So I kind of dug, because at first I didn't know what the episode was. I didn't know what it was, because Collider had put it up there too. And I was, what is this? And then when you start watching it, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I thought they were kind of goofing on it at first, but it's not. It's to expose
it's
what's
cool.
happening and having people call in and go, I saw some dogs go in there, and he's like, it's dog friendly.
Right.
It's clever.
It's cool, and it kind of reminds me of when I used to play PC games in the 90s. Like I would play like the X-Files game or whatever, and it's like that, right? Like where they have all these kind of not deleted scenes, but
scenes.
exactly, right? Like bonus features that you don't get to see, and you don't get to see it. You get to see it in like bigger franchise movies, but not this, right?
Yeah,
So
and
that's
you can
really
go to Lionsgate.com to see it?
and see them with it's watch John Wick Truth Serum. That's what it is in
Watch
the
John Wick
address.
Truth Serum.
But you go
I
there.
love
but
anything John Wick, and just sign me the F up for it.
It's so good. 'cause-
anything Keanu, really.
Yeah,
true. You remember those old
Scanner
shows from
Darkly.
like the 90s and the 2000s where they were like, we're going to expose what really happened here, blah, blah. So they play into that, and they're only 3.5 minutes. You can watch all 4 episodes in 15 minutes, and they're fun. And Eddie Jemison's a good actor doing this Banks Jenkins characters. And the 4 episodes have an arc as well, because he gets found out by the people at the High Table on the Continental as you watch. And so I don't want to ruin anything. Just enjoy those episodes. And a great way to get you like back into the world of John Wick in Chapter 3.
And that's
get you
on, is
excited
that
to
on,
rewatch
is
the
that
movie.
on here too?
It's on the,
it's
I
on the
don't-
Blu-ray.
I think it's on the Blu-ray, but you can definitely watch
I think
them
it's just
on Lionsgate.
Lionsgate.com.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
Links
Okay.
in the bio.
The link is in the bio.
Link
There
in
you go.
bio.
Link is in the bio. All right. Well, thank you, John, for that.
Yeah.
And Riley, you're in the booth, yes?
Yes.
So tell us about our main topic. here.
Improv, go.
What's
Kidding.
going on?
Okay, we were going to a rainbow, and then we're gonna turn over here with some bees, and then they go down a hole. Okay, anyways, the Mandalorian. We have Entertainment Weekly article where Favreau and Filoni were talking. I'm going to paraphrase here, but they say that a lot happens between 30 years between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, and that the Empire is done. But what happens when the Republic is rebuilding and there's like a Western and like people are, it's lawless? It's going to show essentially the rise of the First Order, how they came to be.
Who's the First Order again?
First Order is Kylo Ren and Snoke and all that.
Got it.
So this is the thing. So the Chuck Wendig books explore a lot of this.
Aftermath, right?
All 3 of them.
Okay.
All 3 of them. And where the
And
first
that's
one.
canon?
Yes. The first.
You mean a lot of like after the
So it
the
takes place
Empire
after
fell?
Jedi. Yeah, but
Okay.
it takes. And the last book, the 3rd book, really shows the start of what happens and what some of the Empire takes off, goes to the outer regions to just get the hell out of there and regroup, and they leave a lot of these fuckers on these other planets, like the Warner Herzog, people like that.
Yeah.
So this is where I hope, as the hardcore canon person in the lore that was set up, because the story group also works with a lot of these authors too, is to pull some of that stuff and to reference and to finally bring in someone like Sloane, who we've been waiting to see forever. She's just a badass kind of Imperial officer that was in these wars, the final battles. Because if we find out right around this time where this takes place, is right, it's like after the Battle of Jakku, I believe. So if they either reference that or show what's going on there, show just a few mentions, because you have someone like Dave Filoni and Favreau who are so caught up in the lore that we're going to start seeing these types of things. You'll see things from Rebels, you'll hear from Clone Wars, stuff from the movies, stuff that kind of tie in. That this is that thing that just pieces it all together.
Yeah.
Are you excited about this?
Oh yeah, I am, because like it's whenever you read something and you're like, what happened during these years? Like I just want to know the background of stuff, and I don't mean prequel necessarily. It's more like, how did this all come about? And when you watch TV shows, those are usually the best episodes when they go back and explore how all this came together. And the fact that they're talking about, I think it's like 5 years after Jedi, and then
it's around that time.
And then so you're going to see like, oh well, this didn't all work out as hunky dory as people thought. We all sang on Endor and sang that song. We thought we were going to hold hands and have a kumbaya
Good song.
universe. Sure. Yeah. But the reality is, which is I really enjoy that Star Wars is like exploring the governmental reality of trying to run a universe or a galaxy after the revolution succeeds. We've seen this in the real world. How many times revolutions? Iraq. Any number of countries. You look at the history. We're one of the rare countries that succeeded after a revolution and was able to become a world power.
And look at us now.
Okay. And a lot of other countries, just slam into themselves and fall apart and start another revolution. So this idea that another version of the Empire would pop up is not out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
Also, I think the exciting part for me is that we've seen the Rogue Ones and we've seen the Rebels kind of regrouping in all aspects, right, and in all eras of this saga, but we really haven't seen the Empire, right? Like we haven't seen like what happens after they fall and like how do they restructure themselves in all these different aspects, right? Like, I mean, as long as it's not like a fourth Death Star, I'll be happy.
No,
right?
and there won't be. Well, that was the beauty of that scene that they showed at Celebration with Herzog and the stormtroopers kind of underground trying to build themselves back up, because, and Ken and I were talking about it, because at least we're hoping that they stick to what the canon is. At this point, the majority, like the hefty version of what was left of the Empire, they're gone. They're off in the outer regions trying to build the First Order. So all these stragglers are just out trying to survive and rebuild.
You think you'll see like a young Snoke in this? No,
because I don't think so. I think Snoke is out in the outer regions.
Oh, really?
I think that's where they got
making
him.
an appearance, Circus as Snoke in the series?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not 5 years, because we know.
I feel like he was a bigger character. Like the fans made him out to be a bigger character than he was.
Well, in the novels they made him pretty big too, because I don't think you're wrong, but I think they mentioned Leia had mentioned. Because in Bloodline, that is 6 years before The Force Awakens, and Kylo's still Ben Solo.
Yeah.
But they're very aware of Snoke, and they know Snoke is around, and they know Snoke's trying to, be involved and kind of not corrupt, but influence Ben.
Snoke's just a guy. There was never any like all those Snoke theories were like it's Luke's face wrapped in a scar.
Nothing was ever. I think you're going to get something
Rey's
on him.
dad.
I think we'll learn more about him in 9.
Okay,
but I don't think that we haven't heard anything yet, or where he came from, or what. They kind of have to say something about him.
I just want to know where he got that ridiculous yellow robe, because I kind of want one.
Yeah, I can see you walking around.
Yeah, right.
I didn't want to know that like in The Last Jedi, because the only time I saw The Last Jedi was the one time in the theater, and I fell asleep for part of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I always do. I mean,
you fall asleep in everything.
That it wasn't like during my fall asleep part that we found out that Snoke was like Rey's cousin Derek.
No.
No. Got it.
Not yet, anyway.
Derek right now, Derek.
Yeah, the hopeful thing for me for this story is that they're gonna incorporate all of the lore and the things that we like about all these things. It's not just gonna be I'm glad it's a separate story. That's
Right.
cool, and we're going to learn new characters, and that's the way to do the things that you get excited about, of brand new things and brand new people that we don't know about.
Things we haven't seen, right? Like,
But knowing and acknowledging the history of things, like you got to get a Luke Skywalker mentioned in there. You don't never have to see him, not once, but you got to mention him. I mean, this is the guy because it's already the lore of what he's been doing, and he's a legend. And these, I mean, even when Rey had heard about him, it's like this was the guy that took down the Empire,
right?
And so just to mention it,
this is what you said. It's like, this was the guy.
This was the guy.
It was the guy.
It's like in Braveheart.
Yes.
When he's sitting down, he's like, I have William Wallace kill 50 men.
Yeah.
50. It's like that whole thing.
Or one.
If it was one.
Don't you make fun of my accents ever again? That's terrible.
Bounty hunting is a tough profession.
Yeah, I love Werner. Werner's so great.
I love Werner Herzog.
But what is interesting to me about going through this and seeing the beginning of the First Order, because they're saying Giancarlo Esposito's character might have something with putting this all back together.
Yeah,
to be
right.
the
It looks
First
like he's
Order.
trying. Yeah.
Right.
Great villain.
Do we start? Do we start to feel sympathy for the like? I think this is the if we start to have if the Mandalorian is the protagonist of the series and we love the Mandalorian, is he going to be part of putting this empire together? And if he is, does that change our perception?
I
of the
don't,
First
but
Order?
that's what would I think make it
Like a Maleficent.
interesting show, right? Not so much that, but for me, if we're watching both sides of the like the empires and the rebels, like and you're probably going to find sympathetic characters on both sides.
Well,
and
that's what we haven't seen in the
make
movies
it a
yet.
good show. Exactly.
We've seen it in Rebels,
in
with
the
Callus.
movies, it's very black and white.
With Callus, and
Right,
but
Callus.
when you see it, the majority where you've seen the other side of the Empire are in the books. Like that's where you like Lost Stars and things, where you get you get people who just are fighting on that side and believe in that cause. They're the evil motherfuckers for sure, like the Tarkins and that. But then there are other people that are
Just
not.
need a
and
job.
and are sympathetic.
Or like
to 'em.
Finn that left,
Right,
right?
there's sympathetic characters, and I think we're going to see more of that in The Mandalorian because you have more time. I think you're going to see a lot more of that in Cassian. I think that's where that'll really serve because that whole thing will be political, especially when you have the showrunner from the Americans doing that one. So,
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was Stephen Schiff, is that his name?
Schiff.
So anyway, I like that they're going to be able to explore this. That they're going to take the First Order, do some more things. Like I said, I think there's going to be a lot more that comes into the Clone Wars and Rebels. And
I don't want to toot my own horn on this one.
But you will.
I will.
Yeah.
I've been saying since the beginning that I don't know what this show is about because based on the trailers, I have no idea. And I'm not a giant Star Wars fan. Obviously, I just asked you guys if people knew who Snoke was. So what I'm saying is now knowing that this is taking place after Jedi, it's tied into the movies, it's showing me things that I didn't necessarily know about. Now I'm excited
Even more
for the
excited,
show.
yeah.
I was excited.
Well, I showed
now
you that
I'm
scene and you
actually
got
excited.
pumped up.
Yes.
But now you know a little bit more. But that's a great point. Because here's another, this is why when I tell, and I've had conversations with Perry, and I've had conversations with Roxy, and I go, the casual fan doesn't really even know what the hell Mandalorian is.
Correct. No, you're right.
But they're convinced, no, it's big enough. Like everybody knows what this is. My friend John Pinto, who I talked about, is a massive Star Wars fan. He and I were talking. I said, "Are you excited for the Mandalorian?" He goes, "What's that?" Yeah. Didn't know what the fuck it was.
Right.
Had no idea what it
Because people
was.
just see the poster and they don't even know it's a TV show. They're
think
like,
he saw
oh,
a
that's
poster.
Boba Fett, right?
I don't even think he saw a poster. I saw him like, the trailer without the music. He goes, oh, wow, it looks like intense. It's like Disney Plus, not just, they're not locked in the way that you guys are or we are.
They're not nerds like us.
But they're not just, it's just not what he is a nerd, but he is. And he's just, but he's also, he goes to work every morning. He does his job. He goes back, he sees his family, and then he turns on TV here and there, but he's not locked into like the news. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that if you that's happens to be your passion. You're checking the movie news every day.
But
There's a lot
this
of
also
people that
our
do that.
jobs to actually know this.
But even those people who are watching right now, and they're locked into this space. There are the casual fans that where Disney Plus has to try to get are the John Pintos of the world and find out how do you get that show to those guys and say, no, this is where this takes place, because they don't know. To them, it could just be another animated show,
right?
And they don't even know.
But I think that's why they came out with a trailer that's more hardcore than we've seen before. Because it's kind of Game of Thrones vibe. Like who knew about Game of Thrones? Nobody was.
That's true.
People weren't reading the books at that level.
Right.
They were reading the books,
and
certainly.
It had lucky enough to have HBO behind it too.
Right, exactly. And this has the Disney machine behind it. So this was a smart move to not make it just a happy-go-lucky type of show. This is actually a grittier show, and those are the people that they want to come and watch this thing.
True.
Well, they have so many animated shows. They needed something
There's
like
more
this.
coming from what I hear.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on here. Riley, let's turn the phone lines on because we're going to do that giveaway.
Yeah, Riley, turn it on.
Please, so I wanted to do that giveaway for Men in Black International, the Blu-ray and the Mondo poster. So we're going to have you guys call in. McCoogs will have some questions
got
for
some
you
questions.
also. And then
Yep.
after we're done with all the questions and we do the giveaway, we'll have anything you guys want to talk about today. You got a half an hour to ask us whatever you want. So
You got to
phone
tell
lines
them.
are open.
You got to tell them it's for Men in Black Intentional.
Oh, for a minute, that's what JT tweeted out and said
No,
that the movie that he didn't know existed, that he wanted to exist, was Men in Black Intentional.
Men in Black Intentional.
And the tweet was non-intentional. Hey, you're on Collider Live. What do we got?
JT.
Hi, my name is Manuel Fuentes. I'm calling from Arizona.
What's up, man? So, all right, so we're going to give you a shot here for the Men in Black International Blu-ray and Mondo poster. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay, Manuel. Why did my dad make me sleep in the hallway?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I'll give you a hint. It has to.
Obviously, I know they're supposed to sleep in the hallway.
Yes, exactly.
I'm with you. I don't remember either.
I mean, it's
a
from
hard
like
one.
the early episodes.
You should have said, what did my dad say to me after I did
Yes.
this?
Okay.
Oh, you Chris Kaliski over here?
Well, I mean, sleep in the hallway. I think everybody would get that because it's like a thing. All right, you know what? That's too hard. I farted in a hotel room in Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay. That's too hard.
There
That's
you
too
go.
hard.
All right.
That's all right. No one would have gotten that. Yeah.
Why did Mark Riley scream, "It's not a big deal"? In that famous sound
It's not a big effing deal, right?
Because everyone was talking about his nails and being.
That's correct.
There
That's
you
correct.
go.
That's correct. All right.
right.
Should we ask one more since it's the only giveaway we have? It's just the one.
Sure. So you get the.
Okay.
This is for Blu-ray and the Mondo poster.
Yes. What show has Christian never been invited to be a guest on? Ooh.
The Wangers show.
That
I was just on a couple of weeks ago with Brett.
That's what I heard.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Brett never do that show. ever
Join
again.
the club, brother. Join the club.
All right, yeah, but the show didn't. The Wangers didn't start on your show.
That's fair. but we had him on the top 10 show. They haven't even returned the favor.
Manuel, make sure you reach out to Mark Riley to get that Blu-ray sent to you. The whole Men in Black Intentional gift pack.
That's right.
And Mondo poster.
Intentional. All right, thank you so much for the call. All right, so let's get another phone call, and when we do, you guys, like I said, now the giveaways are gone.
Yeah.
So
We have
now
decided to move the Arizona tickets giveaway to possibly next
TBD.
week.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
TBD.
So we are now going to take a phone call, and you guys can talk about whatever you want. You got a half an hour. Is anything we talked about today? Anything else? So go ahead. Hey, you're on Collider Live. What do we got?
Hey, you got Justin in Denver.
What's up,
Hey,
Justin in Denver?
Nice. Hey, Justin, let me ask you a quick question because I was just in Denver.
Look what you did there.
Yes. It's,
you didn't do that on purpose?
No.
Just in Denver.
I was just in Denver.
Oh, right.
I flew into your airport. Somebody told me that there is some kind of an urban legend that underneath the horse there's an old like nuclear fallout cave where the president's supposed to go. Do you know anything more about that? And also, question 2, can you buy mushrooms or is it just if you're doing them you can't get arrested?
Okay, so I'll ask the second question first.
Okay.
You can buy mushrooms and not be prosecuted as a criminal if you're found with them.
Got it. Okay. But no stores are like selling mushrooms.
No stores are selling them. It's still an underground CD type thing.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you should
But
do.
hey, hit me
put
up
'em
when
on
you guys
pizza.
are in
But they
town
will,
next time,
'cause-
if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah! All right, Justin. All right, and then answer and then
Just
question.
in prison, am I right?
And then the nuclear fallout cave under the airport. What's the deal with that?
So that is, I mean, it is all legend. Nobody really knows. The weird thing about the airport is that it's the biggest airport, like space area in the nation, and nobody knows what it is. It's all confidential.
God,
somebody knows.
So aliens.
There's supposed
But
to
the
be.
horse
Yeah.
did kill the person who made it.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Look at Justin giving us a little bit of
Justin,
There's supposed to
history
be
of Denver.
There's supposedly a mural on the lower level that has clues.
I'm in such a dad mode.
To what?
Dan mural.
That's a Josh McCougar.
He's the goat of murals.
I'm in such a dad joke mode. Yeah. All right. Let's get to your question before we ruin all of comedy.
Sorry, Justin.
Just so you know, I'm the Justin that reached out to you, Christian, yesterday. I'm talking to my boss today about some corporate sponsorship.
Oh, great.
I just want to let you know about that.
Thank you.
But my question is for Josh McCougar.
Oh shit.
I'm the one that put in a photo from the Netflix show Hyperdrive, in the Facebook group with your doppelganger. Have you seen it? Have you watched the show?
No, but I need to check out this Facebook picture because I've seen Hyperdrive pop up a couple times, and I can't get the wife on board with it. So this might have to be like a Josh McCouga only. Do you know the actor's name?
Well, it's not an actor. It's so basically the premise of the show is it's American Ninja Warrior
Okay.
cars.
Oh, right. Okay. Got it.
In
That sounds
cars?
awesome.
There's French Josh McCouga in it, and we put a big post. Like, people were commenting on it. People want to know if French Josh McCouga actually knows Danish Christian Harloff.
Oh,
wow.
Wow. No, I don't know where that's going. I am Frenchman. I smoke cigarettes. I eat a baguette. I have the many meats and cheeses for wine and breakfast. I do not know Danish Christian Harloff, but I would like to meet him.
Where? Isn't it wee
That's
wee?
wee
Isn't
wee.
it wee wee?
Yeah, but if you go to France, we don't really say wee wee. We say wah. See, we go to Eiffel Tower, you know.
Le poisson, le
All right,
poisson.
well, thank you for the call. We'll look at that
Justin,
picture.
you're the
Thank
man.
you, Justin.
Thanks,
All
buddy.
right, when we get another.
Yeah, this guy.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's pretty damn close.
see.
Show it to him.
Oh wow, that does look like you. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Different nose.
Different nose.
I
Yeah.
wonder if he gets scared too.
Yeah, maybe.
I think you're better looking at that guy.
Thanks,
different
man.
nose.
I think
All
so,
right, let's
too.
get to let's
Send it to
get
Amanda.
another call here. Hey, you're on Collider Live. You're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Luke.
How are you?
Luke.
Hi, Luke.
What do you got for us,
Good
Luke?
lately.
What's that?
I want to go back to the Tenet trailer because I believe the Warner Brothers is doing the same thing this weekend for the Birds of Prey trailer. So I was wondering, like, is that a good strategy for the studio to not put the trailers out online? Like, is that going to drive more people to the cinema? Because I can remember that, like, I would go and see a movie, like, specifically for the trailer of, say, Episode 3, like back in the day. So
It's a different time though now, and I think that I think if you're doing it exclusive, it's a bad move. I understand to do it before. Like, excuse me, not release it until after the movie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, if the Nolan movie or Birds of Prey, the movie comes out, whatever it is, the Warner Brothers release. You show the trailer right beforehand, and then the next day after the wide release, it comes out. But to do exclusively, no, I think it's a bad move because you're expecting you want it to go massive to people who are just sitting around at their cubicles.
Just gonna say, I think the problem, and I think I know I get where you're going, Luke, and I dig. I just. There aren't a lot of people like us who are like, I got to go see this trailer, so I'm going to go see this movie.
Yeah.
The way more casual fan is word of mouth. I don't think a trailer is going to get people in the theaters to see like Leatherbag the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like
Maybe Leatherface.
Yeah,
It's just
that's all.
I think not to do a trailer online these days is bad marketing.
Totally.
I think but that being said, putting it in the theater first, interesting marketing.
I like
don't
that.
think it's
Yes.
bad marketing. I think it's interesting marketing.
I actually, because what was it? One of the trailers we're talking about, like the Joker, for example. When I saw that in the theater, I had already seen it, and I wish I had seen it in the theater for the first time.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Or like an Episode 9 trailer. That would have been cool to see in the theater instead of my small screen.
Right. Well, that was one of the things. I mean, I remember when the Episode 7 trailer dropped on that Thanksgiving. I mean, I definitely watched it online, but then they debuted it on. I forget what movie it was, but they said they were going to show it, and it was me and Schnepp and Campbell. We went and we watched it at the theater at the AMC, and it was like the experience was incredible. We watched it on the big screen. So so who knows how they're going to do it? We'll see. Thank you for the call, Luke.
Can I say a quick question? Have I dodged the bullet? Do I not have to go to see it too?
I think you dodged it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're still going to Horror Nights though.
You might, but you might have to do. You might have to do a reaction to like a watch along when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They have a new Ghostbusters maze they're putting in that's supposed to be
They
incredible.
are?
Yeah, some
What
people,
kind? Like OG Ghostbusters?
Yeah, OG Ghostbusters. It's supposed to be fantastic.
All right, let's get another call when you got shot. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Joe from Tampa again.
Joe from
Hi,
Tampa. Joe, Tampa. Did you decide now that the Outlaw and Dan Merle they're going to be there? Does that pump you up a little bit? You coming out to Orlando or what?
A little. If I win tickets, I'll probably go.
Hell, there you go. Well, look, you're an honest guy. All right, what's
I love this guy.
Yeah, he's both times. What's what do you got for us today?
Spoken like a true Tampan.
One question I got for Schmodown.
Sure.
Have you guys, for traveling, have you ever thought of just making a very small dial and put numbers on it, and then on the big screen have what categories it is?
You mean like to make it look like a huge wheel?
Well, you know how the electronic wheel?
Yeah.
That but
stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like you're saying just have like a really mini wheel, put a camera on it, and then on the big screen it looks like it's huge.
No, I'm just saying put numbers on it and then put the categories, the number of the category on there. Like number 1 category.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you put
correlation.
So you put on the digital wheel, put like the numbers, and then when it lands on like number 7, then you reveal what it is.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. It's not a terrible idea. We're
Joe's gonna get your job, Christian. Now he's gonna be commissioner.
Done.
So I always thought a good way for the Schmodown and get rid of the wheel in the live show until we can figure out a wheel situation is you have an image up there on the screen and it's just like 1 through 16 and the player's like 8.
Yeah.
And then it comes out.
That's kind of what he's saying. He's saying you're spinning it and he lands on 8 and then you reveal what it is.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no
or
difference.
you have a jump to conclusions, Matt. With conclusions, you can jump.
That's actually
good
really
reference.
Yeah.
The wheel is like the drummer in Spinal Tap. It's like this thing is just keeps. It's the one thing that's keeping them from fully being 100%.
I know.
That wheel, for fuck's sake, just no
like-
matter how much you try.
I know what I'm going to do for
that
this
World
one.
War I steel one you bought was insane, and so I wonder if that's going to make the transport.
No.
Yeah.
That as much as I like,
That's heavier than the plane.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that wheel needs a lot of work. The wheel needs a lot of work. But what I'm going to do for the
here's your small down wheel. Spin, yeah.
I know it's true. I said it sounds like a dump truck coming through your living room at like 2 a.m.
Wheel of misfortune.
Yeah, it's just true. Captain America should use that because nothing's getting through that thing. Yeah. It's so loud that if you were sleeping in Beverly Hills 45 minutes away, it would wake you up before you spun it.
Yeah, somebody told me that 2 days ago. I ran in and just spun it, and I was like, "What the?"
Dude, it's so loud. But anyway,
that's sort of like my grandpa, God rest his soul. He was an amazing engineer and construction worker and carpenter and everything. Anytime he saw something that was like store bought, he'd be like, "Well, I can make you one of those.
Yeah,
I got it." And then he'd come across and it would just be like, crack, 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 crack. He made me a catcher's mitt out of a leather bomber jacket.
Yeah. No, here's the difference.
That's incredible.
The old wheel, if you spun it by the pegs come flying off.
Yeah, right.
You can hang on to this wheel and it'll spin you around 7 times if you hold on to it.
Yeah.
It is so strong, but it does sound like a tank.
You could stable human beings to the wheel; it would work.
I just thought of what we call it.
What?
Fury.
That's good. That's good.
We got to call it Fury. Yeah. Anyways,
Fury
what I want to do with the next wheel is for Orlando, right? I'm going to send it to my brother's house. My brother lives in Tampa. He can just transport it up. I'll send like not Fury, but I'll send like mini one that we did for San Diego. Sure, let's do that. All right, let's take another call.
You could also get darts and have people throw darts at balloons.
That was someone said like dice and everything.
Dice. No, dice are not cinematic.
We're not doing dice.
All right, hey, you're on Collider Live.
No.
What do we got?
Hello?
Hey, you're on Collider Live. What do we got?
Yeah.
Oh, Manny.
What's up? What's up, man? What do you got for us today?
Oh, actually, who am I talking to? Christian?
Yeah, what's going on?
It's Derek.
Oh,
It's like Chance's cousin.
I was actually at the New York show. I was one of the guys at the meet and greet. I think we talked about your stand-up show.
Nice.
So, oh yeah, my phone's on my internet's on a little delay, so now I'm actually seeing my call come up.
That's right. Yeah, can you turn
your computer
if you
down.
can turn it down, that'd be awesome. How did you have fun at the show?
Yeah, I was actually the one who yelled on a goldfish.
Oh, awesome.
Actually,
there you go. Cool.
Yep.
So what do you got for us today?
Just want to say I enjoy your show, and I had fun at New York. But when is the next time you guys come back to New York?
We met about this last night, and I think I'm pretty confident to say that we're targeting going back to Brooklyn at the Roulette for our season premiere in January.
Nice.
That's what we're looking to do for
winter on the East Coast. Smart.
Yeah, and I already know my main event, but I'm not going to give that I'm not
that
gonna get
wheel.
it. Well, we did it last time.
I know.
what it was? If
You're,
it was
you're tempting fate, dude, because Chicago kicked us in the teeth.
that was Chicago, though.
Yeah.
New York in January is it's aight. In Manhattan, it's okay because
It can be.
the snow melts from the heat in the streets.
I mean,
As long as they still have pizza, I'm good.
when I lived in New York, January, I think like 21st was one of the largest amount of snow days in the
Yeah.
history of the city.
I know.
So
But-
I'm just saying.
I love New York in the
I get
city
you. No, I get
in
you.
the wintertime. So
I hear you.
we're
Me too.
gonna try to check it out.
Shut up, Doreen.
I
don't
do.
know. I'm kidding.
I
you
went
go.
to see Hamilton in January.
All right.
show.
So yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Let me know. We get another call.
That show.
Which one? Hamilton.
Oh,
What
You
the
don't like it?
hell's wrong
Stupidest
with
show in the world.
Hamilton?
Did you
Why?
see it?
Why is it stupid?
Yo, the Constitution, First Amendment.
Did
yo,
you
yo,
see it?
yo.
Did you see
I
it?
see enough of those numbers.
Did
No,
you
you didn't
see
see
the
it.
live show?
No, you didn't see it.
Well, there you go. You
That's
have
like
no
10
opinion.
numbers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
I'm the
your
wrong person
grandpa.
to talk about all musicals for sure.
I
so.
just hate that kind of spoken word crap.
It's
Anyway.
not spoken word.
All right. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Welcome to Musical Talk.
Hey guys, this is Jake.
What's up, Jake? What do you got for us today?
Hey, just a few questions, a few statements. Dorina, I know you had a birthday recently.
Oh,
I
July.
just want to say you look.
July.
Yeah, I just want to say you look like you're aging in reverse.
Oh.
I'm a
It's good. I was
vampire.
gonna say she's the devil.
What do you want to do for what do you want to do for your next birthday?
My 40th.
What do you want to do for your 40th?
No, my next birthday is the 38th. My
For
40th,
my next
I can't
birthday,
talk
I shall
about it.
disappear into a
40th.
vampire.
Yeah.
Just joking. She told me so much she wanted to do her 40th. I said, that's an interesting gift. All right, what do you got for us today? What else?
Oh, also, Christian, I love your impression of your mother-in-law. It's hilarious.
Well, thank you so much. I'm trying to figure out exactly who you are.
Anyway, I went to Galaxy's Edge a few weeks ago.
Nice.
To be honest, I think it was kind of overhyped, and I didn't really feel anything. I guess the Millennium Falcon ride was pretty cool, but other than that, there was really nothing to do.
Did you say you didn't feel anything? Like the park gave you no emotions?
No, yeah, it was kind of like, I don't know, it felt kind of hollow to me.
Yeah.
I guess because there was no original characters or any
I think it's a work in
things
progress
from the
still.
original.
I think it's a work in progress.
Oh, do you mean like literally from the original trilogy?
No, but I think he meant new characters, things that are kind of walking around. One of the things is, I guess, the promise of that you're going to feel like you're actually in Star Wars. That some people feel that hasn't been delivered.
Well, there's
yet.
also a lot of people that feel like it's the happiest place on earth when it's actually the 7th layer of fucking hell.
Oh, how
So,
dare you!
know.
How dare you!
Yeah, and it was really hot that day too.
There you go. 7th layer of hell.
Yeah,
Like it
another
would
thing,
be on a
Another
planet
thing,
in
I
Star
feel
Wars.
like everything's. I know you're talking about Terminator the other day.
Yeah.
Everything's like being remade, either a prequel, sequel. I want to know, do you think like Hollywood is running out of ideas? I know, like, there's certain directors.
But wait, here's the
there's certain
thing.
directors that have new stuff.
Yeah, but wait, here's the thing. That question gets brought up
every day, all the time.
All the time. And the answer to that is there's original stuff happening all of the time.
Yep.
You just have to look for it. You have to find it. People aren't watching them, but they're all out there.
I
They're big.
try to talk about original stuff
Yeah.
here. Go see Midsummer. Go see
Shut
Tigers.
up, Dorina.
Tigers Are Not Afraid. There's a ton of. Go see The Farewell. There's Booksmart. There's a ton of movies that came out this
Ton.
year that nobody
Good
talks
boys.
about that are way better than any of these franchise movies we're talking
There's
about.
many. There's a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Dorina is upset.
Yes.
Now,
So go see it.
Now, if you mean as far as taking chances on blockbusters
Right.
and original blockbusters, that's a different conversation because from even when I was at Warner Brothers, they're so scared unless it's a proven IP.
Of course.
Yeah.
They won't take a chance, and it's the ballsy producers that take a shot on original IPs that when it pays off, they're geniuses.
Like Matrix.
Like Matrix,
Joel Silver.
it takes off. You're a genius, but if it misses, then oops, you should have just went for another fucking remake, dummy. That's a different conversation. But when people say like there's no original movies out there in Hollywood scared, that's not true because there's tons of shit out there, and even the original movies that happen on Netflix. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that happens all the time. But blockbusters is a different thing because it's scarier, and understandably, it's scarier for studios.
You're
to
spending
put-
more money.
You're spending a lot of money now because of the fact they don't make movies that go in theaters for like $60 million anymore, or $50 million, and then hope to make the big summer movie. It doesn't happen anymore. Back in the day, in the '90s, the big movies, the big budget movies, are $100 million. Now it's like $200 to $300 million, and that's you've got to have a proven IP. It's just.
But even in the 90s, like if you watch the documentary by John Schnepp and Holly Payne, Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, they talk about the fact that they had to cancel the movie. They canceled a Superman movie because they were throwing so much money at it, and they were unsure about how it was going to be. And Nicolas Cage, and like they had all these doubts, and then eventually they canceled the movie, and then they put that budget into Wild Wild West, which
and the
is
Spider.
hilarious.
Which is
so
crazy.
I mean, they
You
do
know,
stuff like that too. They make bad decisions like that all the time.
I remember Spielberg a few years ago said that there's going to come a time where like people are going to kind of get sick of the blockbusters. Do you think that'll ever happen?
No.
I think he's the last one to talk about it.
Yeah.
He's the last one to talk about it. He started
No.
this whole thing, so he can't like all of a sudden go, whoa.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll happen. I think that's what's going to keep the theater going experience alive.
Yeah.
Because it's the smaller movies that are now really popping and getting more. I think it's funny. It's a catch-22 because back in the day, it was very hard. I mean, it's still harder to make an independent film. I mean, you got to find financing and all that, but it was a lot harder for get people to watch it. Now it's a lot easier to get people to watch it if you make the movie because you can get it out to these streaming services. It's still very difficult, obviously, because you want to get a mass audience. But if you can get your mass audience now through Netflix, through Amazon, through these places. If it pops once, like it's essentially going viral on one of these platforms.
No, and you're right actually to mention the streaming services because there's these apps like Shudder, right? Like the horror app that they're the ones that are bringing back movies like Tigers Are Not Afraid, which I mentioned. That was made. They came out in 2017, and they just brought it back. Right. So that you can do that
they're
now.
looking for material,
and
content.
10 years ago, that movie would have been lost.
That's kind of. But to answer your question, that's the whole point when it comes to blockbusters. Blockbusters. It's spectacle, and people still want to go and experience the spectacle. Like you don't want to see like I can watch Irishman on Netflix. I'll be okay. I think it'd be fun to watch it in the big screen, but I don't need it. I got to see Episode 9 on the big screen. Shit, I got to see the Suicide Squad on the big screen. I want to see those movies on the big screen.
Do any of you guys watch Succession, the show on HBO?
No, I hear great things about it.
It's effing fantastic. It's perfect. But there was a scene, I think, in the season 2 episode, the first episode of the second season is going on right now, where she's like, "This is the first thing I would do. Why do we have an indie production company?" And it's just like, fuck, like they don't make a lot of money, and a lot of these studios that do bankroll, some of them, or it doesn't have the same panache as like a rom-com that got made back in the day. If you look at it, When Harry Met Sally is an independent movie. Back then, it was a studio flick.
When you look at the amount of money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars was an indie movie when it was first made, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was.
that's- if you think about it that way.
So. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it. I think we'll probably do 1 or 2 more calls and call it a day. So I am excited about this, man. I don't know if I'm going to watch this tonight or I might. Really,
you should.
It's good.
It was one of those ones where it was done. I was like, I could sit around for the next showing.
Yeah,
and watch it again.
Yeah.
Well, my wife really liked the first 2, so I think that she'll be excited that I have this one too.
You involuntarily laugh at certain scenes because it's so great in its violence and the choreography of the scenes. You're just like, oh my
The opening
God.
scene is amazing.
I know I'm in a minority, but last night Peppermint was on.
Oh yeah,
I like Peppermint.
I like Peppermint.
I love Peppermint.
That's
It's so good.
It's John Wick with Jennifer Garner.
I liked it. It was a throwback like 90s movie.
Yes.
I still believe she blew it by not going after more action films. She could have
Totally.
carved out a niche
Because of Alias.
Because of Alias,
Yeah.
she
Maybe
would have been
maybe
Tomb
she'll
Raider.
keep doing it now.
Maybe.
She could.
I guess she fell in love and wanted to have kids and settle down and be a mom. I respect
There
respect
needs to
that
be a
totally.
Peppermint.
She also
But what
flipped
do
her
you mean?
career.
But you can still do that and be an action
No, but I'm
hero.
saying I think she made
Angelina
that
did it,
decision to
yeah.
focus on that. No, don't bring up.
We
Jolie.
need.
I'm just saying.
We need a
I'm just
Pepperwick. She needs to be part of the Continental.
I would love that. I don't think it's a different studio though.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I don't know. That might be-
Artemis.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Tyler from Tennessee.
Tyler in Tennessee. What's going on, man? What do you got for us today?
I was wanting to ask Makuga if he heard the news about Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
What happened?
So Antonio Brown is an absolute clown. He tweeted out or Instagrammed out yesterday a picture of his fine, like a letter from Mike Mayock saying, "You didn't do this, you didn't show up for camp, you're fined this amount of money." So Mayock, who's the general manager of the Oakland Raiders, approached Antonio Brown at practice. Antonio Brown threatened to hit him, and then he kicked a ball at him and said, "Fine me for this." Right? This is a receiver that they're paying $21 million, an absolute diva. He didn't want to play all preseason because he didn't like how his helmet looked. He was fighting with the NFL. He wasn't showing up to practice. He also burned his feet in a cryo, one of those like cryo things, because he forgot to wear shoes in it. And his feet are pretty much his entire career.
Yeah.
His feet and his hands are his entire career. So now he threatened to punch Mike Mayock. John Gruden has suspended players for way less.
Yeah.
And here we are, and I'm just so glad that my Pittsburgh Steelers got rid of that clown. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah.
Well said.
He agrees. Okay, cool.
Tell us how you really feel, Josh.
Thank you, Tyler. My favorite thing about the whole thing is you should have grown up in the South because I want to hear someone go, again, Macoog.
Yeah.
This is my questions from Macoog. I loved it.
Very much.
It worked very well. Macoog.
Either people say it or
Macoog.
They say Southern people say it awesome. Alexa, not Alexa. Siri goes, Josh Macuga.
Let me see. Hey Siri, call Josh Macuga.
Calling Josh Macuga.
Yeah, there it is.
see?
Macuga.
Macuga.
I mean, they read it in Spanish, it's just Macuga.
She says it.
Macuga.
I have her on the English accent too.
Yeah.
So
It's Italian, so you say all the words. You say all the letters. Yeah.
You're calling
I have my
you're calling
Google
Josh
as a
now.
British dude.
British, yeah.
You're actually
Mine's
calling Josh now.
Oh. Even better.
I do have a missed call from Christian.
There you go.
Wait, give it to me. Hiya, Georgie.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more. Perfect.
Come out and play.
Hello, Georgie. Hello, Joshy.
Yep, there you go.
Hello, Joshy.
Hiya, Joshy.
Why are you taking calls from clowns? Should be riding a tricycle.
You'll float too.
Hey, you got Clyde Alive. What do we got?
You'll float.
Oh shit, I got through.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Mike. I'm calling from San Francisco East Bay,
What's up?
California.
What's up, man?
Mike.
East
Oakland,
Bay.
What do you got for us today?
Well, I got a Star Wars theory I wanted to run by you.
Oh, no.
especially Christian and Riley.
Sure.
I know.
Yeah, what do you got?
I
So look,
thought that too.
It's about Episode 9.
Aye.
Oh boy.
I was a big fan of The Force Unleashed. I
Mhm.
love
Yep.
Galen Merrick as a character.
Yep.
And, you guys have been talking all the time about all the clones.
Mm-hmm.
I think something you'd mentioned the other day, Christian, was, it's a reason why you can explain away why she's so talented in the Force. Like,
Right.
yeah, maybe it was a Petri dish clone. Well, if you think back to that game, and it's clear they draw inspiration from it.
Yeah.
Rebels was clearly, Kanan Jarrus was Coda.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you look at Galen Merrick, he was drawn in the second game. He was a clone, and he was like his memories were flashing back to him.
Right.
Which made me think, what if she's perhaps remembering a past life? And we know that Palpatine was like really into trying to find a source of the dark side power.
Mhm.
I was thinking, well, what if he had found a force being that was in a tomb or something like that, just looking out in the galaxy, trying to figure out where the dark side source power was.
Right.
And then he took that and cloned it, and that was Rey.
That's possible. I mean, I like that theory. I think that's there's
And
because that's what he said. Like your journey has now come to an end. Like that. There's something that's been going on, and it looks like it's. I just hope that it's not a tease. That what they did is misdirect to where it is a stupid flashback or a dream, and then he's really talking to Kylo. That would be shit. I hope that they don't do that. And I also see people tweeting out, and I know it's kind of split on this. They're just like they say, why do people keep focusing on the fact that Rey could be something else? A theory of who she is. It's like, no, she's a nobody. That's what they said. That's not what she even said. They're going to find out. They're going to explore more. How boring would that be?
I disagree. I actually would prefer if she came from nothing. She just
dull.
Yeah. Why?
Dull.
Why is it? But why does she have to be a clone or the kid of someone to be cool?
It's not a matter of being cool. It doesn't explain anything of how she was able to pick up the Force so easily. If she's just a nobody.
But what if she?
It took Luke.
So you would be. Let's
Truth.
say she did end up being a Skywalker. You'd be okay with that.
I don't really want to be a Skywalker. No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Because I wouldn't.
No, I think at that
would not be
point we've passed that. We've passed
I mean, it's
that.
not up to us. We're going to be
I know.
unhappy or happy.
No matter
with
what.
it, right? Like,
I think we're way past that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I think that if they're going to bring the Emperor in, then have it do something with him. Then it makes sense to bring him back because then you just bring if you just bring him back, and it's like, oh yeah, he figured now he's Voldemort and but he has nothing to do with Rey at all. I think you link it all together, and I think and that's why I like this kid's theory. I think the idea of him kind of playing into the dark
Rey
side.
could just be really cool and like what Anakin was supposed to do,
Dorina?
and she ended up doing.
Tired of your positivity.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a Porsche,
Yeah.
Josh.
Why do you?
Right before you guys come in.
Yeah.
We're talking about Benioff and Weiss potentially being involved in like an older Star Wars saga, something that takes place way back before. Knowing Disney, it would make sense if they do something like that because it will help tie into an older, saga. Something like, well, this was way back when in Ancient Jedi. So I don't know.
Yeah, it could tie it in. That's what you would like to do. You'd like to see them kind of do it the same way that like Marvel did, but I don't know. But thank you for your call. All right, good phone call. Good show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, John Roca. Thank you, Mark Riley. Thank you, Christian Rubicaba. Josh McCouga, Dorina. We'll be back tomorrow. Kate Mulligan in there. And then, go ahead, John. Say it.
Truth Serum episodes. Don't forget, go to Lionsgate. Go look this up. John Wick, Truth Serum episodes. These are fun to watch. Do it. And order the DVD and Blu-ray.
Yes, definitely get the Blu-ray for John Wick 3. One of the best ones out there so far. Yeah, get those tickets at schmodownlive.com. October 19th in Orlando. John Roca, Dan Merle going to play Corruption for the team titles. Come see us in Florida. See you tomorrow.
Hey guys, Wanger Show. Go check it out.